See, he's already acting fine. Let's see what the hell going on here. We ain't even tripping. We ain't even tripping. Let me see something. That's right. Get that right. I wanted my music wouldn't play though. It was acting funny. Look.
Yeah, and I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but his homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Alright, it's getting kinda dirty in these YouTube streets. The Amin Ra squad, God thinking you dudes weak. Islam or Judaism, where you learn what you dudes teach. The West African rapper slapping with that voodoo speech. All that sub-Saharan terror about a cuckoo feet. I'm like Norma, that agricultural farmer that grew you wheat for the storehouses. We feed the Hebrews and lead the people when we defeat the feeble. They wanna know polite rip me off, but Sonetta paid me my money though. That mean he 100.
Get them comments up.
Going out lazy, bro.
Get them likes up. How y'all doing?
The homie just played me, bro. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bro. They
I'm
crazy,
just waking up, ready to get it in.
Nubian with the Jews, I rock the pinky. I think Jesus got to save me. A doctor save me, a Dr. Inky. I cop the copper jewels all blue and red. I'm not the chakra doctor y'all claim woke, but you in bed. You won't pop a chopper, you Grandmaster J. You just talking. Punks turn the other cheek and you will walk away. Y'all gon' have to pardon my Moorish. That's Tahaka Bay. I'm on that black African power on my darkest day. And that's my brother Ankh stomping them other punks. We brought them gators to Italy. You loving the Moors. And now I'm teaching from my shrine like Brother Jabari.
Peace and love. DD36.
I'm on another safari. Tasha K showed us Frank record. Young Pharaoh just losing his mind and y'all can't help him. I know one thing, you're a fool if you're still out here donating to Umar school. That shit fool. And I'm a worker,
I don't know about that though. Let's talk about that.
Thought he was conscious, but his homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Look. You showing your hidden colors like Tariq Nasheed. A bunch of pseudo information I don't think I need. Probably lying on the text, ask Divine or Zion Lap. Just get that microphone ready. With Metal Netta, I'm Stone Jetty. A Ujahu, a Saw Imhotep. Y'all probably timid still on them Bobby Hemmett teachings. I'm in Gozy with the DNA. Cats corny and it's killing me too. You talk that black shit, but you look Arab like Gorilla Hebrew.
504, what's up?
They telling me just chillin', be cool. I'm a magi archer, you a sad guy talking. And I'm a worker, cause I ain't going out lazy, bro. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bro. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bro. They crazy, bro.
What's up with it? What's up? How y'all doing this evening? My sleep hours be so crazy. I just woke up. Just woke up from like, thought it was tomorrow, woke up. Made some beats this morning. They was cool when I listened back to them. But I don't normally do stuff like that live, so it was fun doing that live. You know what I'm saying? But a few things I said in that song, I was wondering. I just was saying stuff, you know, I was just sitting here rhyming into the mic. And said, peace, pure black. I was just saying what I was saying. But one thing I said, and I want to see if the audience agrees. I said, and it's a video that I'm about to pull up now that I want to see what y'all think about. I said, I know one thing, you're a fool if you still out here donating to Umar school. And then I started thinking about that. And I want to know what y'all think about that. I mean, on some rap game, on some rap lyrics, it is what it is. Like, okay, I kind of felt that way. That's why the lyric came to me. But I'm thinking, like, what is that? That's just black man hating on the black man. Is that true? Are you notifying? Are you notifying people of what's going on? Or what was that really? I kind of don't feel that way. I kind of feel like if it's going to manifest, it should manifest, but for the reasons that we all donated for back in the day, if you were ever a contributor or a donator. What's up with the Pan-African Designs? I see you. Thanks for tapping in. If you were ever a contributor or a donator to what Brother Umar is doing, do you regret it now? Are you happy that what he's so-called bringing to fruition is in the stages where it's at right now? How you feel about that? And then there was this dudes on YouTube who just, his name is Lennon Honor. This dude be going crazy on Umar. But it's this one video that was hella crazy. And I'm like, man. I was watching it one day. And I kind of was agreeing with the detractors, so to speak, or with Lennon Honor, when he showed this one scene that I couldn't believe. He's not going through the right process and opening the school. Okay, that's a good, interesting input. Whatever, and you know, I kind of agree with you because plenty of people have opened up schools since then. There's been all kind of schools opened up in every city, but his leadership attributes aren't there as far as opening up a school is concerned. This type of man you want to keep your kids far away from, not send them to. I mean, from what I've been observing from his present, the way he presents himself. And I'm not so hip to Jared Taylor. Somebody just asked me that in the chat. But this part, I mean, I be watching both sides of the story. On YouTube, you watch everything. It don't just be like you just watch the stuff you like. I also watch stuff that I just be looking at how people plan to grow their pages and what their content is. There's some pages that's strictly dedicated to hating on other people. You know what I'm saying? And I guess Lennon Honor is one of them. But since he feels Umar is legitimately a fraud, then he acts like he's justified in I don't want to start this. He's justified in all the bashing he does of Umar. But it was this one video where Umar was in front of the school and he was making it look like he was looking at some drugs. And when you look at it, when you watch the video, it be kind of looking like what dude was saying is true. I'm going to try to find it. This stuff be crazy. But what's up with y'all? How y'all doing this Sunday evening? I don't know if it's true, but hasn't he raised about $2 million, that plus taxes? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Back in the day, y'all gotta understand how long we've been on this. And so some people donated way back in 2012, you feel me? 2013, 2014. Way before all of this time transpired. Then you start to see after time that things be a little different than what you was. I guess I ain't gonna be able to find this video. Probably don't need to show it anyway. Let me see. I ain't tripping off that though, but it was cool. It was crazy. It was just crazy looking. I don't know, but in regards to what I said in the song, I was like, do I feel like I shouldn't have said that, or am I telling the truth? That you a fool if you still donating to that school. He raised $2 million. Damn. That's good for, I mean, is that, see, what do you say? Do you say that's good for him? Or do you say, dang, that's sad? I don't know, it's cool. I wasn't really necessarily tuning this on to focus on Umar. I see my people in the chat getting it popping. Yeah, I mean, really the whole conscious community, a lot of us that I see in the chat right now, we've been around for hella long. Why can we look at each other and be like, we know each other's character so far, but these other people that were amongst us that we all knew that was on some other shit, we let them get away with it. And people was trying to warn people. People was trying to do whatever they can. But now, oh my God, the latest is Tasha K and Young Pharaoh interview. I ain't seen the Tasha K Young Pharaoh interview yet, because you gotta. Here's another thing. This is the hate we be having. Like, I don't know, is it just me? I don't know what it is, but tell me this. Like, you like somebody content on YouTube, then they trying to build up their page, their own platform, like Tasha K trying to do, and she put the interview with her and Young Pharaoh on her own platform, but us, we reluctant to oblige. We're reluctant to go to her platform. I'm speaking from my own experience. I don't know if I'm speaking for y'all or not, but I'm keeping it a buck. That's that white shit, that white supremacy shit. But it's not the way that you understand it. That shit go down as far as what platforms we willing to use. And as soon as we see the other platform is black owned or something, we got this little, I'm not fucking with that. Maybe I'm just me and I'm exposing myself. But I have a feeling I see that all throughout our culture, that whenever you tip somebody off that is black owned or whatever, the alternative platform or whatever, then I don't know, people don't want to support it, so to speak. But it's good though, because Tasha K just a sister with a YouTube page that I'd never heard about until she started talking about polite. I was reluctant to subscribe because I was like, I still probably don't think I subscribed to her, because I'm like, she probably talk about hella woman shit I don't want to hear about, and then the one subject that's making me subscribe to her was when she talking about polite. But now she got that good ass interview. It looked like a good interview. If y'all ain't seen it, I'll play the trailer. It ain't gonna do nothing but get her some more. Everybody had to see this by now. It ain't gonna do nothing but get her some more promo. This is the craziness. Let's see. Shout out to Tasha K for what she been doing too. But she doing it professional. She doing it right. And we should. Somebody said too loud. Sound like a bunch of noise. What the mic too loud? I don't know what's too loud, bro. You let me know. Let me know though, something too loud. Shit. All right, Tasha K look like. All right, let's look at this though. Maybe this was too loud. What the audio sound like to y'all out there? Are we gonna test it on this commercial? Here go another thing. Oh, not me? Okay, cool, not me. All right, cool, great. Thanks for saying that. Here's another thing, and I just want to give us some game. When you watching your homies monetize YouTube videos, oh, she too loud. when you watching your homies monetize videos, watch the damn commercial. That's the easiest way to contribute to somebody's page. When you click skip ads, they're not going to get the bread. So when I'm watching any conscious page or something, I'll just watch the ad on purpose. Well, let's see. This is me promoting her video that you got to go to her stream to watch. Well, we might as well full screen.
I think that y'all are not aware of certain shit.
And see,
we're going to break this down all the way. I'm already thinking he like could get her like to be another wife or something. That's just the look on my face. And I can't even front. I feel like he probably could get that just from this interaction. Watch this. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's watch.
I think that y'all are not aware of certain shit.
And see, I
got abducted before by extraterrestrials.
What?
Do you believe that? Look me.
Let's see. As soon as he said that, he started with the tongue shit. So he doing some fake. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he doing some fake, some serpent shit, like some reptilian. Watch this. But he need to go on and cut a slit down his tongue. If he want to just pseudo all the way out, he need to go cut his tongue in half. I'm telling you, he gonna make $1 million. Watch this though.
What?
Do you believe that? Look me in my eyes.
What the fuck?
That's one tongue.
Absolutely fucking
2 tongues. All right, we gonna count the tongues. Even though I don't really want to do that for now. I'm not doing it.
No, absolutely.
But just look at this craziness.
On the internet, raising hell. No.
Who do that?
No.
And tell me I'm lying.
You're lying.
That's the problem.
All right, I'm feeling her. She like, you lying.
I'm aware of something you're not. We're gonna see though.
What's up with your tongue? Why you always do your tongue like this?
I don't know, part of my personality. I like to flick my tongue out. Part of my swag, part of my micro-expression, I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm aware of something I'm aware of shit.
So tell me what happened when you were abducted.
All right, now see, this is the part that got me crazy. See, it make me sad that I've had my own experiences. It made me sad that I've had my own unexplainable instances that he could exploit the real shit that's really happened to some people in this way. To the way certain people be believing this shit because of what's happened to them in the world. But look at her face right now. Like she herself all the way, but she ain't feeling all the way in control, I don't think. And I'm just looking at, that's what the body language I'm getting.
Before we move on,
I told your story like 5 times already.
Okay, I haven't heard this particular story.
Okay,
I'm sure my viewers haven't heard it.
Right now.
Okay, tell me.
I was on a table, and my body was on the table.
Okay.
And I was on a ship, and it was all metal, like a spoon.
Oh my God. Just the way you describe hella stuff be crazy. I was on the ship, and it was all metal like a spoon. Did he say that? It was metal like a spoon?
Shit, and it was all metal like a spoon. And I was looking down on my body, and my body was like chest down. I was looking at the back of my head, and there was some beings operating on my 33rd vertebrae.
That's where you come in with the pseudo. Cause how you know which vertebrae it was that they was operating on? I'm just saying, like, did they say it was the 33rd, or how you know it was the 33rd? You feel me? That's when the pseudo all are right in there, but let's just keep it above.
There was some beings operating on my 33rd vertebrae.
I know, that's what I'm saying. The more, see, because YouTube ain't really for what we use it for, y'all. Somebody said he still got millions of followers. But maybe I should put the text box on the screen so that we could cover up some of her content. Even though this is just a promotion for you, Tasha K. But let me see. Just so we can, like, people gotta go watch it on her page if they really want to see it. I'm just gonna put the chat up here. Hopefully that helps. I don't know. Whatever, everything ain't been working like I've been wanting it to work. But let's keep going, though. Do y'all believe this story or not?
some beings operating on my 33rd vertebrae. And it felt like it felt like when you take two wires and you touch them. And they kept going like that with my...
See, that's what I'm saying. You wasn't in your body, so how you know what it felt like? Come on, Tasha K. I want to know these questions. You was witnessing this from another outside of your body. And then when did you get back in your body to start knowing what it felt like?
And they kept going like that with my nerve. I don't know what it was. Don't have me get the line. But it was right here. And it was, I could...
Edibles would not do that to you, bro. Edibles, I mean, he might have some edibles, but he worse than edibles.
With my nerve, I don't know what it was. Don't have me get the line. But it was right here. And it was, I could look all around me, but I couldn't look.
Even maybe, no, he had to be on DMT. Look at that right there. Look at that facial expression. Somebody screenshot that one right there. Let me, you can't see it because of the chat. Hold on. I'm going to put the chat on Tasha Cat and me. What's that right there? That ain't even how a person look when they talking. Oh, man. Hold on.
But it was right here. And it was, I could look all around me, but I couldn't look to the right. It was a being right here to the right. But it didn't look like...
Come on, man. I gotta tear this story apart. I got real ones. But I'll dialogue with you about your story. I want to go back and ask some stuff because you was outside your body, but you was saying what it felt like in your body. I mean, that ain't how out-of-body experiences be working.
It felt like when you take two wires and you touch them. And they kept going like that with my nerve. I don't know what it was. Don't have me get the line. But it was right here. And it was, I could look all around me. But
I don't know what it was. Don't have me get the line. That's just some shit a psychologist will tell us what that was right there.
Here. And it was, I could look all around me, but I couldn't look to the right. It was a being right here to the right. But it didn't look.
Oh my gosh. Let me go back. Hold on.
It was all metal like a...
Okay.
I couldn't look to the right. It was a being right there to the right. How you know what was to the right if you couldn't look to the right? Because it was talking to me.
And my body was on the table.
Okay.
And I was on a ship, and it was all metal like a spoon. And I was looking down on my body, and my body was like chest down. I was looking at the back of my head, and there was some beings operating on my 33rd vertebrae. And it felt like it felt like when you take two wires and you touch them.
I ain't mad at him trying to just entertain us. You feel me? Like, come on, y'all. Like, you got to know the WWF from the real stuff. Like, he just like, I could go far with this craziness. He don't know where it's going to take him, though.
And they kept going like that with my nerve. I don't know what it was. Don't have me get the line. But it was right here. And it was, I could look all around me, but I couldn't look to the right. It was a being right here to the right. But it didn't look like me or you. All
right, I finally heard what he said. He said, don't have me get the line. But think about the conscience of a black man. When you say don't have me, what that really mean? You feel me? I'm just breaking you down, bro. We go deep on this type of shit. What do you say don't have me? You say don't have me whoop your ass? You feel me? Don't have me is not like, I mean, that ain't something you say like, you feel me? Like, don't have me get the line. He lying is what he's saying in so many words. Don't have me beat your ass. What do black people say don't have me? You don't say don't have me get the line. I'm just keeping it a buck. Go find on YouTube somebody say go have me get the line. Whatever, none of them. Don't have me is kind of like an urban accusatory where what you're doing is going to make me have an action, a response action. She just listening to him and he said, don't have me get the line. Because I was wondering how that sounded weird to me, but now my brain figured it out. Because don't nobody say don't have me. It's like don't have me beat that ass. Don't have me call her. Don't have me tell. You feel me? Don't have me get the lying. I'm just breaking it down. I'm just breaking it down. And look at all these looks. Every time you pause this dude, blood, look at how he look. I ain't tripping. Yeah. Don't have me is what you say before you do it. Don't have me slap the shit out you. You feel? Don't have me get the line. I ain't never heard a black person ever say that.
Like that with my I don't know what it was. Don't have me get the line, but it was right here.
He tried to say, he was trying to say something else, but he just said it too quick. He was trying to say, but he like, don't have me get the line. And it just, I'm overanalyzing it, but nah, this is all you got. It's what came out of people's mouth. And I'm keeping it a buck.
And they kept going like that with my I don't know what it was. Don't have me get the line, but it was right here. And it was, I could look all around me, but I couldn't look to the right. It was a being right here to the right, but it didn't look like me or you. I don't know.
You couldn't look to see what it looked like. It was a being to my right. I couldn't look to my right, but the being looked like me and you, or whatever.
It was a being right here to the right, but it didn't look like to the right. It was a being. I could look all around me, but I couldn't look to the right. It was a being right here to the right, but it didn't look like me or you.
He ain't even a good liar, bro. Imagine what a detective would do with this type of shit. So let me get this clear, young Pharaoh. You could look all around, but you couldn't look to the right. But there was a being to the right that didn't look like us.
Couldn't look to the right. It was a being right here to the right, but it didn't look like me or you. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was whatever it was a masculine being, and it was talking to me telepathically.
I know that.
And it was talking to me telepathically, and
I'm just joking.
They told me it was the captain of the ship. This is a true.
Okay, that's cool.
And they told me it was the captain of the ship, and I asked the being, like, it wouldn't identify itself though. When I asked specific questions like, where you from? It didn't answer. And I asked him, like, what you doing? You're like, what are you doing to my body? When I asked specific questions like, where you from?
I want to go back to some funny ass shit.
The ship. This is a true
that we didn't even trip off.
And it was talking to me telepathically. And they told me it was the captain of the ship. This is
the captain of the ship, y'all. I cannot press pause without catching him in a funny ass face expression. I'm not doing this on purpose. The captain of the ship is what the aliens told him he was. The captain of the ship. What's up with our people, y'all, right now? I guarantee you, aliens ain't gonna say that the captain of the ship. I guarantee you I put money on that. How much would I put on that? I wouldn't put everything on it. They might just say the captain of the ship so that they might think you that dumb. That they gotta say the captain of the ship, y'all. Golly.
Told me it was the captain of the ship. This is a true ass story. And it told me it was the captain of the ship. And I asked the being, like, it wouldn't identify itself though. When I asked specific questions like, where you from? It didn't answer. And I asked him, like, what you doing? What are you doing to my body? And it was like, we fixing you. And the being...
Y'all forgot he was face down. Because he could see when he teleported out of his body that they was working on his 33rd vertebrae. Tasha, I wish I could put all these thoughts into your head right now. She need to get some people from the conscious community sitting in the back in the dark and have an earpiece on with us filling her up with questions and shit. We'll be Amara Squad in her ear on the left ear, red, blue on the right ear, you know what I'm saying? And she could just ask the questions that we want her to ask, you feel me? Because I'll be like, Tasha, say this. Ask him why. Let me see.
Fixing you.
Ask him how. Listen to how inconsistent this story is. He never got turned over. He's still laying on his back, and they tapping into his vertebrae, and it felt like they sparking some wires together. He never said when he went back into his body because he couldn't look to the right. But assuming he's laying on the table, he forgot he was laying face down. So now he's describing that as if he's laying face up. She sure ain't dumb. She letting him fry himself. What you do is when a person's speaking like a fool, don't cut them off. Don't interrupt them. Don't make them start not being a fool. That's what the Egyptians teach. And we could go in on that right now. I'll pull it out. Well, no, shit, we about to start doing the knowledge. We're going to do it in a minute. But basically, you'll find this. And the Maxims of Ptahhotep tells you, like, when you are faced against a lesser man or something, and the man is like spewing flames on you, or whatever. They basically say let people dig their own ditches and don't interrupt them, don't cause them to stop. Just let them keep talking themselves into purgatory. But since I said that, later, I'm going to have to pull up the real text and say what it really say so that I won't be butchering that for this teaching. But it's in the Maxims of Ptahhotep. And so that's what she's doing. She like, it ain't time to interrupt and stop this nonsense. Let him go. I mean, I don't judge her. I don't got no opinion about her. The fact is, she got the interview. I met her whole channel and Get Down when she was talking about Brother Polite. And her content is quality. Okay? Look at this video. We all should be ashamed of ourselves that we ain't produced nothing of this content for nobody in the conscious community besides what? Hidden Colors. So let's just keep it a buck. She a sister. She trying to do her shit. She ain't gonna do what we doing.
Where you from? It didn't answer. And I asked him, like, what you doing? We're like, what are you doing to my body? And it was like, we fixing you. And the being asked me for my permission. I gave her my permission. And then it kept touching. It kept going like this.
They was already doing it. It kept. You can't even lie. It kept. If it kept, it was already doing it. So why I need your permission?
It kept going like this with my spine. And I kept feeling my pain increase. And I remember I was just gripping my teeth like.
So you back in your body now. And you gritting your teeth face down.
They were strengthening my nervous system so that I could channel. And I believe that because I do channel. But it was clicking me like this. And I remember the pain was increasing and the being kept communicating with me like, are you okay? Can we keep going? I kept saying, yeah, I could take it. And I was trying to be tough and take the pain.
Look at the look on her face.
I just came back to my body and it brought me back.
Do you believe that maybe you probably
had
a hallucination due to all the books you were overloading your mind with? All right, Winos, I am so sorry to interrupt this exclusive program.
All right, I'm just leaving it at that, man. And she deserve her props. I don't care what. What's up, Trey? Thank you. We on our way to $1 million. That's another $2 on there. Look, I'm not hating on the sister. Like, why? Why do that? Like, come on. She bringing us content we want to see. And I can't watch that shit unwind. But when she talking about dude, she be going in, though. like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to Trey Gaming. Trey Gaming, as a matter of fact, you got me wanting to throw on my Oculus headset. Because really, I just got up tonight and was on the build. I was making beats the other day, this morning. Kind of wanted to make some more stuff, but this community crazy. So now we got to talk about, because then somebody got the video. I'm about to play it. I got to play this too. When Young Pharaoh saying about porn, dude, and excuse me if anybody's in an environment where you can't talk about this stuff, but I'm about to play this, dude, and I want y'all to tell me what's going on with this. Y'all must have all seen this. I don't know. Why am I playing this? I'm not playing this because I don't want to go there. But I want to know what is going on with these people. Y'all seen the video where young Pharaoh was saying some crazy stuff. And then I remember him and Sarah Sudan said he was tied by the hip. I ain't saying nothing but history. Gotta know he had certain views like this. All right, you gotta hear it from the horse's mouth, man.
Listen.
I gotta show this because I can't even let this play with my image on the screen. Y'all just tell me what's going on. Is this all sensationalism? Tell me what is going on right here. Plug all the little kids' ears.
We grown. We grown. If you want to watch porn, I don't give a fuck. Listen here, porn is banned in our nation. You feel me? It's banned. Now, if you want to watch porn, you are only allowed to watch a grown man with another grown man or a grown woman with another grown woman.
I can't even stop that. Hold on. Did the brother just say that? So, hold on. We gotta go to a brief intermission. Cause they crazy, bro. That is crazy, bro. Did he say that?
Crazy, bro. Alright, it's getting kinda dirty in these YouTube streets. The armor rock spot.
I just had to go right there for. Woo, what is going on in these streets? These YouTube streets. So much pause. He didn't pause nothing. He said what he said. You feel me? Honestly, I don't know what's going on, dude. Yeah, he said that. I tried to told you. See. I just showed you. I was very uncomfortable playing that on my screen. Now that's in my video. He said that shit, bro. And y'all remember how him and said he was tied at the hip? I ain't even going there, but I just do remember that. I used to be like, why they so like blood brothers or something? I just showed it. I ain't showing that again. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, but I ain't showing that again. But he said those words. And so that's some crazy shit. But then I remember when they were saying the metal netter wasn't real and all this, it was all kind of stuff that arguments you wouldn't be able to maintain. What I'm wrong about? Tell me, what I do wrong? He did that. Oh, you thought that? No. I don't know if y'all talking to each other. Somebody said they thought that was just because of his voice. I ain't saying nothing about none of that. I'm just showing what his words was, okay? You feel me? And then all that tongue, all that sticking out his tongue in the videos and shit. This boy on some other shit. So that's our youth. Let's just keep it a buck. That's a product of kind of like the conscious community, a byproduct of the conscious community. Am I wrong? Is young Pharaoh a product of the conscious community? A wasteful byproduct of the conscious community? I think he's a wasteful byproduct of the conscious community. But when we first bumped heads, see, I'm going to show y'all really want to know. People don't want to know people want to know, and I'm the knower, because I've been there the whole time. Dude, I'm going to tell you this, and I got to keep it a buck. A buck. I just got good foresight, and this is way back in the day. I'm talking about way before Pseudo was any place close to this, but he couldn't get past the Amin Ra squad. Y'all gotta remember, we the reason why he ran from the conscious community and went and started setting up, he said a wasteful byproduct, yeah. He went and started setting up his own, he stopped dealing with the community primarily because of the Amin Ra squad. Because he couldn't get past us. So let's go back. Let's start teaching people the history so people could know. Because we tried to keep a lid on this type of shit. That's what the pseudo killers is all about, bro. That is what the original, that's what it was all about. So let me get it in for y'all. Yeah, no, it's plenty of them, but I'm going to take y'all back through the whole history since we could do this. I'm going to take y'all back to the whole history because, see, this one I'm about to show y'all. Look at him. The young man, and look, that's when him and Seti was already taught. Look, they already was, they was already brothers. Like ready to go against the whole conscious community for some strange reason. But I was perusing the knowledge and nothing that they had was really, should they have been standing together like that. And so I dealt with Seti and he already showed me what type of person he was by how we dealt with each other. You feel me? I don't speak bad on nobody, but when you do me a certain way, I'm already looking at you like, okay, I already see what this is. Well, let's take a look at what we see right here. Because we see my good brother Ben in the center of the screen. I'm about to turn down this chat a little bit. Minimize this chat a little bit, maybe. I'll find the place for it. Well, for a minute, I'm just going to take off the chat. I'm just going to hide it so we could look at this. Now, on the screen right now, we looking at my brother Ben right in the middle, the Black Panther. To the left, we looking at the God Killer, Brother Ankh. To my left, anyway. And to the right, we looking at Song Jetty. But just I want y'all to peep game. Peep Brother Reggie in the back. I wish I could zoom in on Brother Reggie in the back. Back there peeking game, like, what is these brothers talking about? And so this is one of the first times when the squad was trying to tell Pharaoh that the information that you kicking gonna lead you down the wrong path.
A street knowledge, why true?
Science, where chromosome came from.
Look, now I just want to get into the part when the squad was engaging with Pharaoh.
Don't you still got wolves around today? Don't doves come from wolves? Next.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, I got a question, So why would you ask, why would you?
You might as well jump on fucking. Just say the start this shit, they gonna get us. I'm gonna show y'all that cracker tomorrow.
See, look at this fool right here. He ain't got nothing to say. He just want to ride with Pharaoh already. They was tied by the hip. Now Pharaoh broke up with him. I'm trying to see what's going on.
Hold on, I got a question, So why would you ask, why would you?
You might as well jump.
What the fuck is you talking about, Unc? Why you mad talking about where your homeboy is standing? Nigga, calm down.
Hey, don't doves come from wolves? Next.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, I got a question,
Why you put Song Jetty on the spot? Why Song Jetty?
So why would you ask, why would you?
You might as well jump on fucking.
Nigga, let him stand where he want to stand.
I'm gonna show y'all that cracker tomorrow.
Now look at this fool.
When them niggas get to talking to all them chromosomes and shit, I'm gonna see if you look at this shit and see if that matters.
It's always the one who look just like that talking that shit. Look at this fool. Shut up. You ain't leading nothing. Shut up.
I'm gonna show you what's on the outside. That's gonna show you what's on the inside. You ain't gonna have to worry about no goddamn chromosome. Bitch, you got 4 heads. Your baby got goddamn 9 legs.
Look at Pharaoh. Hold on, Lord. We got, now that we know Pharaoh, look how Pharaoh peeking that Seti out the side. I'm just keeping it. But watch this. Look. Look.
And when them niggas get to talking to all them
compared to how red and blue looking. Red and blue ain't lost that composure, but look at that Pharaoh peak, bro. Look at this Pharaoh peak. I'm just keeping it in the butt. I'm wondering what's going on right here.
I'm gonna show y'all that cracker tomorrow. And when them niggas get to talking to all them chromosomes and shit, I'm gonna see if you look at this shit and see if that matters.
What?
I'm gonna show you what's on the outside. That's gonna show you what's
all right, whatever, Seti, but you know what it is.
You ain't gonna have to worry about no goddamn chromosome. Bitch, you got 4 heads.
See, this that shit that used to get us. That intensity, it don't let that fool you black people. That's what they do that shit in the church. The person who the most intense is supposed to be right. And I'm still looking at Pharaoh Google eyes. I don't care what nobody say. I know Google eyes when I see him, bro. I'm just having fun. But keep it a buck, though.
Your baby got goddamn 9 legs. What the fuck is that? I don't need no nigga to go there and show me no chromosomes. Ain't nothing no nigga gonna tell me gonna make me connect myself to that. I don't give a fuck what it say. That's some garbage. We got a whole...
See, so this was one of the big deals. Now Unc was mad. You feel me? Because now SETI going against... Now it's SETI Unc, but they got history. We all got this long ass history. And so this is when it started going bad. You feel, y'all remember this.
Different spirit.
See, that's why he's shaking in his hands.
Spirit. If you do not,
because he's basically going against the squad right now.
You are not us. You can't just look at no motherfucking chromosome. Is that woman an African? Is she living like an African? Is that man an African? It's in the spirit. Them niggas too caught up on that shit.
And I wanna.
Hey, you got the big boys right now. Hold on.
Yeah, get his ass.
Big boys running around this motherfucker.
You feel me?
Big boys right here.
Now son Jetty came and stood over there. See, that's what I don't like. God, you didn't call him out, blood. Now he right there. See, don't do that, bro.
Is that woman an African? Hey, you got the big boys running around this motherfucker. This big boys right here. No, you ain't even in the motherfucking running right now.
You feel me? Tell that motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Hey. Hold on, watch this. Hold on. Hey.
I ain't even gonna go there. I just wanted to show this. Y'all can go watch the video for yourself because we doing the history. I said young Farad. So what we going back to really is the blog talk argument. Do who remember that one? And that was the funniest one. See, I'm gonna take y'all through the history of how this went down. The blog talk argument against the Amara Squad and Young Pharaoh. Now we gotta go to where people don't even go no more. Blog Talk Radio. Oh my God. I'm going to Blog Talk Radio, logging into my old Blog Talk account. Let me see if it's still there. And we had so many shows, y'all. Y'all don't even remember. I mean, I know some people remember. But this is when it really went down. And this is what I told cats at this time, because Pharaoh was working up his momentum. And so I seen that show. I think I told him, let's call that show this. But it was something like, you know, when the unstoppable force meets the unmovable object. And I was telling the squad that. I was like, I can't even front about that young. I wasn't saying he had good knowledge. I wasn't saying he had bad knowledge. I was saying, now I'm going to show y'all, look. I was saying that he was the unstoppable force at that time. He was the young Pharaoh. I knew he was going to dethrone SETI, but now it seems, not SETI, or at the time how I looked at it, you know, just to keep it real, sometimes we look at these things, metaphysically, and we just like make up we equate historical stories to our real lives now. Like, and it started to appear that way in actuality. That's how me and Polite met. It's because the Nisu needed to summon the Magi. And that's how it really happened in real life. And so a couple things always be going down like that. Just like you got a young Pharaoh. See, Polite was the Nisu. Think about it. Shaka Amos was playing his position, but he never made it to be Pharaoh, and he always got the side lock on, which is a lock of youth. So he probably ain't gonna never be the Pharaoh. But let's keep it a buck. Polite was the Nisu, right? And then we had this dude who was the young Pharaoh. Polite had some skirmishes with the Hebrews where he had to summon the Magi and the Amara Squad. But if you look at how ancient Egyptians used to go to war, that's really how it used to go down. You used to pull out a squad. It'd be the Ra Squad, the Amun Squad, the Ptah Squad, or the other squad that I forgot. You feel me? And so you can metaphysically look at the reoccurrence of certain type of histories through the knowledge that we put out here. So now I'm back in the day, right? And I'm going back to Brother Ank's show, which was the brother of the Destructions of Black Civilization show. But when I popped it up, I didn't see the initial stuff. So what I'm gonna put is, because y'all want to play the debate between the Amara Squad and Young Pharaoh. And somebody should do the knowledge and go get, I was going to do this, but it might take too long. But to go, here we go. The Destruction of Black Civilization show. Amara Squad. Oh, look at this. You see that? They basically don't even blog talk like that show's so old, bro. Hold on, but is this the transcripts of the show? African American Studies, Anthropology, and Egyptology with the previous degree in early childhood education. Oh, well, so they transcribed the show? Because I could go through this. That's how crazy I'll be. Let me see. While in Chicago, she began working with Dr. Jacob Carruthers and others at Northgate. What was this? I guess they transcribed the whole show. They're talking about Dr. Raketti Ahmed. So basically, they don't got the audio of the show, but they put it in the transcripts. That's not good. Because we don't know who's talking or whatever. Whatever. All right, they throwing me off, and I could get off on a tangent. Hopefully, we could find more real black atheists. I'm a rascal. No, I was saying hopefully we could find more. Yeah, the Great Debate. Yeah, they got some of our shows on here. Let's see if they still there. Okay, they're still up there. Now I could go into Uncle Cat and then find some of them shows with Young Pharaoh, because when stuff started taking 281 episodes, he had listens. I'm probably gonna find it right here. Man, we used to be beating them up on these old debates. Look, is the Amara Squad involved in Freemasonry? Is the Black Woman God? Let's talk to Egyptologist Kristen. Look, we used to be getting it in. Pseudo alert 5 years ago. I'm looking for this one though. Well, even if I don't find it now, is a very good research for anybody who wants some more extensive knowledge on what the squad been doing. Peace, Brother Kofi. And I seen your email. If that was your email, I've been meaning to get back at you, but I think my phone had died right when I tried to send out the email, and I never resent it. Let me see if that was you. General Seti, I'm in Rock Squad up. This is back when we was together, so I guess it'll be more recent than this. Let me see. Probably wasn't even on this show. But it seemed like it was longer than 5 years ago. So this is a good research for somebody to do. Come pick through some of these shows. I'm even going to do it. I'm going to take some of these shows and y'all going to start hearing them uploaded to YouTube. Because this is hours and hours and hours worth of building. Very, very good content, and we don't even use it no more. You know, we don't even, nobody uses Blog Talk no more, so. We back at 6 years ago, so I think I'm beyond the distance of where Young Pharaoh would have been on here. Any of these shows, like with Asar Imhotep, gonna be some good ass shows. The Africans in America before George Washington, African symbols, glyphs, and migrations. But Ngozi Songedi, the relationship between man and animal. Well, they still got some. Here goes Sadie and the God Killer 7 years ago when they were still chilling. I'm just going to listen to some of that for the fun of it. let's see what this is how it used to sound back in the day. This before YouTube was popping. You don't think 7 years ago YouTube was popping, right? But I don't know why this only say 7 years ago. Because we was doing this for longer than 7 years ago. If they gonna play it, it's probably gonna take 30 years to pull up this audio. Yeah, somebody said blog back was 2010, 2013, but yeah, 2013, that's like 7 years or whatever, you know. Whatever, they not even messing with me, so I'm gonna proceed with my day. My evening. Oh, how you started it? I think you used to start it down here, huh? There you go. This old ass audio. Anyway, though, the Sadie Pharaoh stuff, that shit was a fool. I ain't mad. I ain't made no insinuations. I ain't made no insinuations. Guess I gotta get up out of there. Let's see what people saying in the on the chat screen. Let's go to the donate screen. Then I was making some beats this morning. It was kind of fun though. But don't even slip. Somebody call in. This the most versatile show you got. Right. Check it out, party. Somebody call in. What's up? I ain't even got my number up there. But what I could load up is that other stuff, though. Hold on, because I kind of got mad lost. I'm going to go back to this fool.
Hold on. If nothing else, right? If we say we Africans, right? And everybody here say y'all Africans, right? Right. Do y'all agree that we the oldest people on the planet? Yes or no? Hell yeah! So how the fuck, when the fuck do you prove that shit? Just by saying it? Nope. You know, the general just say that shit. Right, come on, shorty, you're not in this. This man. You ain't dead. Nah, but he helped you out because you was sunk. You was done. You got checkmated. Hey, that breatharian shit killed him. So here's my point I want to make right here, right?
See, you heard Pharaoh trying to get back on, back when he didn't have no voice, and Unc just closed his doors all the way.
How the fuck, when the fuck do you prove that shit? Just by saying it? Nope. You know, the general just say that shit. Right, come on, shorty, you're not in this. This man. You ain't dead. Nah, but he helped you out because you was sunk. You was done. You got checkmated. Hey, that breatharian shit killed him. So here's my point I want to make right here, right? The way we proved that
this is hella funny. I like that this community. Why we hating on ourselves? We just got to step it up. Like, I'm looking at Hebrew Perry in the back, Son Jetty, Brother Ben. I see Brother Reggie back there. I see some people I don't know. But I'm like, what's the matter with doing this? It's better than being on the block and just doing nothing. You feel me? All right. Let me see. Oh, I can't find that now. That's cool. All right, we're going to see what that's saying.
Yeah, and I'm a work 'cause I ain't going out lazy, bro. Right. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bro.
I like when that come in like that.
It's going out crazy, bro. They crazy, bro. Alright, it's getting kind of dirty in these
ain't no disses in this whole song.
Squad God thinking you dudes weak. Islam or Judaism, where you learn what you dudes teach. The West African rapper slapping with that voodoo speech. All that sub-Saharan terror about a cuckoo feet. I'm like, no.
Oh, that was a bar. Or that sub-Saharan terror bow to Khufu feet. I'm like Norma, the agricultural farmer that grew you wheat. For the storehouses, we feed the Hebrews and lead the people, defeat the feeble. Golly, that's so. It be coming off so smooth and so slick that you don't really hear how many bars be in there. Cause that's all like that truth shit, you feel me? True game. I see my man Trey gave me the contribution. I see a SAR MCOT. Word up, the spirit of a SAR. I see my peoples. I can't even say your name. Chazak, Luz, Pinto Rodriguez, and Jeremy Chapman. Sound like you got that little boy that got his money back from the big worm. A bunch of pseudo information I don't think I need. I wasn't mad at Tariq Nasheed. Let's go in on that. Let's go in on that real quick. Let's go in on that real quick. Was I lying or was I flying? I mean, y'all gotta say, bro, that's wrong. I mean, I don't care when people tell me the truth. I said, notice in my raps, I'm a wordsmith, so
you're not ready.
I know when to diss somebody directly.
Power is the ability to define.
And I know when to just poke fun at somebody. I said, you showing your hidden colors like Tariq Nasheed. A bunch of pseudo information I don't think I need. Now, I really didn't, I just put those two things together, but notice I didn't say hidden colors was pseudo information, but I kind of did, though. You feel me? But I just said you showing your hidden colors like Tariq Nasheed. A bunch of pseudo information I don't think I need. But I did that because I want to question the question. Let's listen to this trailer and let's listen to the facts in this trailer.
Find someone's reality and have that person accept that definition as if it were their own.
Everything was stripped from us. That's why we're so ignorant today and so baffled and ridiculous and keep going in the same circle.
From executive producer, who has appeared on The Tonight Show, Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and various MTV and VH1 programs.
Our history, for some reason, it becomes offensive to people. So we have to stop being afraid to tell what our true history is.
Best-selling author Tariq Nasheed is determined to uncover the real truth about untold history.
It's necessary to destroy a man's mind in order to maintain control of him. If a man knows who he is and continues that into his legacy, to his children, then you have problems controlling that man.
Oh yeah, you definitely could call in. Let me open up this phone number. Hold on.
Leading scholars and historians discussing topics omitted from modern history.
Only a people who have...
See, now respect game when we got sisters like I'm saying that wrong. Francis. I don't even want to say her name wrong.
Respect themselves. We'll let someone suggest.
But none of my comments was like at the knowledge that the elders is bringing forth, that like her. Let me see, yeah, Francis Cress Wilson. Golly, I just said Francis. But so Phil Valentine, Umar Johnson, Sabir Bey, Tariq Nasheed. Like really Booker Coleman and Dr. Francis Cress Wilson are the only ones who slipped through the cracks. You feel me? Sabir Bey, Umar Johnson, Dr. Phil. We see Umar now. He do got some. See, you can have good information and bad character, so don't get it twisted. Umar, yeah, thank you for saying Francis Cress Wilson. I just said Francis. I was tripping. But Umar, again, he taught me a lot. He had a lot of good information, but that don't mean what his character is like. But maybe, if you watch this video, you can see some of the, what I waged against him. Some of my charges wasn't just like inappropriate. They got some information in this video that you be like, what? But the coldest part about this is I was watching this video on a trip to Japan I took in like 2012, and I left the DVDs inside of the DVD player in Japan when I cut. So I know some Japanese people or some tourists possibly found this DVD in the DVD machine in Japan and probably was watching it, probably like, oh, this is the knowledge. You feel me? Let me get that call-in number popping though for my man. And for anybody else, or we could do a Zoom. But call in is cool too. Call in number is 919-727-4633. 919-727-4633. That's 919-727-4633. Who made up the rule of repeating things 3 times? Umar Johnson do that so much it get on my nerves, dude. Yeah. Somebody just said that on the screen. Who made up the rule, though, of saying things 3 times? Golly. The call-in number is 919-727-4633, and I'm going to put it on the screen. And we building. I want to talk about some aliens and shit since Young Pharaoh said he got abducted. But we can talk about all this. I just put the call-in number up on the screen. So many people in the conscious community starting to do that. It make me sick. Repeat everything 3 times. Y'all know the number by heart. Somebody said candy, man. Y'all know the number by heart is 919-727-4633. Call in and build on any of the topics we was talking about. Was Young Pharaoh really abducted by aliens? I told y'all the reason why I can't knock his story is because stuff I experienced in my own life. I wasn't abducted by no damn aliens, but I had some crazy stuff happen. I actually feel gifted because I was one of the people who has been... Okay, we got a caller. We got 817 calling in. We about to see what's going on. Allow.
Call from.
Hey.
To accept, press 1. To send a...
Peace. Hello? I guess you can't hear me. Bro, can you hear me? I just answered the phone. I guess you can't, huh? Call ended. I pressed once to let you in, but it says change your browser setting to allow Google Voice to play sound. Nah, everything cool. I'll call my own self to see. Oh well, that's cool, but I couldn't get you through. If you in let me see. Sometimes I gotta call my own self to see. In the meanwhile, somebody call in and spit while I play the beat. I don't know what these sounds doing. I'd rather load up some fun stuff I had up here. Open. One of the beats I started on earlier today was tight. This one came out kind of cool. It was the Alright, they're gonna call her. Let's see if we can get the caller in here.
Call from.
Hey.
I'm pressing 1.
To accept, press 1.
Yo. Alright, I gotta fix the audio settings. I know why.
Hear anything if you can hear me.
Yo, can you hear me?
Hear you now.
Okay, yeah, because it was using the wrong microphone. How you doing?
I just wanted to call and chop it up because I've been around by 2006, 2007 too.
Uh-huh.
On the show?
Pardon me?
On the show right now?
Yeah, we live.
Sound like you was... Okay. So, I was trying to, do the chronology from what I seen and kind of like observation of what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
From what I know, and I want to see if you would agree that like SETI kind of kicked this internet online presence off as far as like a scene.
As a what?
Oh, like nationally, he was like the first person that grabbed everybody's attention.
Mm-hmm. SETI did a lot for me. He taught me a lot. He he was like a kindergarten teacher to leading you into the knowledge and stuff, basically.
Definitely would agree with that. I moved past him too after a while. He wasn't growing. The way I think about it is, he kind of kicked everything off, and he did a lot of influence of a lot of the pseudos, so to speak. Like the Umars came along shortly after kicking everything off with a different angle to everything, just like Pharaoh, a lot of other people that came along later. Sarnetta, think that he was ever conscious at that name Sarnetta, I don't think that he really knew much of the information.
Oh, you saying you saying he had the name Sarnetta, but you don't think he had a lot of info?
Because you got to think about it. He comes from Muhammad, and Khalid Muhammad was in a transition as well before he died.
But but you got to remember. You got to remember what Sarnetta's job was back in the day. I mean, he was doing that in the community, but he was also the bootleg man. And so he had all the videos of everybody that he used to take from VHS and put on the DVD. And so I'm saying in doing that process, you had to go over all that information. Even some of those videos was videos he shot with his camera back in the day. So he witnessed a lot of lectures and was there. Now, whether he retained a lot of that information and was able to recite it and spit it, that's a whole nother story. But we know he came across a lot of information because he was the ones who introduced me to SETI. I found SETI on Sarnetta videos first. They used to say,
that's what I'm trying to tell you, Jonathan. Before him and Sarnetta even hooked up. I'm saying Sarnetta was cracking on the internet. Eddie seen it. Eddie invited him to New York when he had that first cast the Moors. The chronology of this shit.
Okay, so the first debate was with Alim Bey. Alim Bey. Right, and SETI?
I'm talking about a debate when he was in Sarnetta, when Sarnetta was on the couch, said his first time meeting SETI.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
That wasn't the first debate when they was first sitting. That was SETI's first time coming to New York because he was cracking in Detroit. He never had been to New York. He ain't never been to Detroit.
I remember that.
New York, but so that's how it happened. He kicked it off, and then watch this. Tahuti the clone of SETI because he was Nations of Gods of Earth early video. SETI got cracking. In New York switched over to what SETI was doing.
But you remember that on that first time, let me ask you this. Because you're right, because he made that presentation on the couch first. And then people start trying to combat it on YouTube like Morris Brooklyn. Remember them old people? You remember Morris Brooklyn?
Yeah, it was an old guy. I know exactly who you're talking about. He had glasses.
Yeah, it was. You might be talking about. You might be talking about Sabir Bey. It was two people who tried to combat SETI before he had that debate. So you're right. He went and got on the couch at Sarnetta House. He made a presentation on the Moors. Remember? Or not?
Yeah, that's how it went. That was the first time SETI either flew him out there, and you got to remember at this time it ain't no monetization on YouTube. Unless we didn't know about it.
No, it was different. Really monetization was different back then. But yeah, you just. But
we like SETI.
Yeah. Go ahead.
SETI know about no monetization, and he really didn't know nothing about how the YouTube thing worked until he got with young Pharaoh. He had come on to all the shit that was going on financially. I think that's why he pulled out of the debate. Remember how they tried to say we wanted more money? Little kids, Pharaoh, he's smart about that YouTube analytics and shit. That's the game he said he needed. That's why he kind of pulled towards Pharaoh, because young Pharaoh was teaching him how to get the money. You know how to get the money. I don't think he pretty much needs young Pharaoh anymore.
I'm trying to feel that a little bit, but I don't know, because we was putting SETI up on hella stuff about YouTube and stuff too back in the day.
So if you ain't computer literate, do all that shit.
So
like
you
me,
saying he did it for him probably. You saying he probably sat at the computer.
Man, yeah, he sat down there and showed him how to do that shit. That's just what I see. Saying when I try to put everything together, like how did this, like why would he even go with young Pharaoh and he's a kid?
Yeah, I
learn
know.
from kids, we learn from the elders.
Exactly.
For somebody that ain't got no wisdom yet, that's nature work. No baby elephant following the big elephant following the baby elephant. It's fucking way. Fine. We gotta look at this shit. How you doing it where you trying to take it all the way back? I would like to do that shit like how you doing it with the video. Show the progression of how Tahuti, when I first him, he had on a suit, what we call cocksuckers down here in Texas, but it's like an apple jack. Clean it, and you know them nations of God's earth, they smart, they read a lot. So it wasn't nothing for him to transfer and pick up because he already knew some of that shit. As in New York, they know a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sinetta is the videographer. He always been a part of the money. Film everybody. You understand, like everybody that's attacking him now, who was Team Kemet, they was always his fucking enemy all the way back from Kemet. Them Hebrews, the Moors, they been our enemy. So we were never supposed to help them. To still be on us yelling at people. He put them up on how to get on the internet and make money. Saying, even thinking about the internet till him and Polite, I went over there fucking with them. Get on the internet, like my bad, bro. Man, I'm passionate about this shit. I hate how it turned out.
Your phone going in and out. You there? Last thing I heard you say was you passionate about it and you sorry how it turned out.
It's sad how this turned out because I thought we was on a miss.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing. You the brother with the clothing line, right?
Yeah, I was the first one of the first ones with a clothing line. You know, but I ain't gonna say that. It was like the Nuwabian guys. They had some stuff out too. One of the first brothers to this in
You sent this
the uniform to work.
You sent this the stuff for Kemet on trial?
Flag, the Heru flag. I was talking about let's raise the flag and put Heru on there so we can get to what thing I hit.
I got that Heru flag
right
around me somewhere. I don't know. I thought I had it in
but
here.
That was
yeah.
Raising the flag and letting them know, Garvey started, the Africanism, but that was me putting that stamp and that history on there. When we look on the else's flag, they just put a rendition of Heru on there.
Huh. Yeah, you
Mexican
know what?
Flag.
So those are two projects. Me doing one ain't in the way of you or anybody else doing one, but those are some projects that need to be done. That documentation of the chronology of the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? And those are just works that need to be done. And even the who's who. I got some video work to be doing, so I might embark upon those trails myself. But I see somebody in the chat said they messed up everything when they pulled out of the debate. Well, the spirit that got him into that debate was already a foul spirit. And it wasn't based on right knowledge. It was more based on being mad and going against the Amara squad. And so, you feel me, they just wanted to pull out because they knew they couldn't face the information that the Medu Neter has not been deciphered. When you call yourself Sarah Sutan Seti, that's crazy because that's why your name is wrong. Sutan is supposed to be a Nisut, but we talked about that a long time ago. Take the letters from Sutan and switch them around and you have the appropriate reading, Nisut. But he wrote Sutan.
Ashwell Quady, from what he said, gave him that name.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of that stuff he used to do, he used to lead us back to Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark. And see, when he first started, he would always regurgitate those names. And that would make me say, well, damn, who is that? I want to learn where you got your information from. So I left. I didn't necessarily leave him in the beginning, but I left and started looking at Dr. Then I started, because, it takes you a while to understand what they saying. He's kind of like you said, the kindergarten version they're saying. Mm-hmm. He would always give homage to Mary Wakwasi, saying that all of their information is right. A little bit more advanced than him to me. y'all come along later on, meeting of the Meta Nature. Oh, that's why I got intimidated at. So I was already, when I found out about it, I was already 45. Like, man, I'm almost.
No, hell no. You can start right now, today. In the next 2 years, you still going to be here in your spare time, still knock down some of that mental nature. Because now you can read our books on it. You can read our Squad books on it. So you're going to understand that easier than reading one of them white people books. But I can't knock some of them white people books that good. I got some that I would give you. But I know that feeling we give ourselves, how you said I'm 45 and I'm not about to start trying to do that now. But it's not like that.
I had an argument with Neb, and that confused. Saying,
yeah,
which one of y'all is right? Because he's saying y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I'm not saying you. I'm about Ujahu or this and whoever. And if they didn't know what they was talking about, and they Kemet means like it.
That Kemet means, well, that's another debate, though. You feel me? That's not a debate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what happened after once I started, pay attention to the Armor Rock. Then Meta Neb and Brother Reggie said, what's wrong on that? I'm like, so shit just crazy.
Well, Neb's position is the traditional Afrocentric tradition on that stance that was put forth by Diop and Obanga back in 1974 or what have you. And so he's a student of Dr. Raketi Amin, who worked with Diop. And so if that's what they teach about the translation of the term Kemet, then that's the body of information he's dealing with that and he's defending. And I think Asar and Ujahu come from more of a free, I can't really say what the background in Africana studies is, you know what I'm saying? But they come from two different perspectives. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned,
I ask you because I know you know how to read it. Who's right, bro?
I don't know who's right. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know who's right. I know they both mount very good arguments, but I don't really see a race construct in place in ancient times that would cause someone to say that the land is black because of the people. That's all I'm saying.
He put a black bull in back of it, and that's how he said that was like the determinative, if I'm saying that right.
Pardon me? Yeah, you are
black
saying that
bull
right.
in back of it, and it said the same thing.
Well, I think it was...
Instead of reminiscence of the people, also showed a glyph with the bull behind it and said it was the black bull. But, I'm not going to get into it. I know we'll be all night with that.
Yeah, well, again...
People trying to find out what's right and what's wrong. And y'all the leaders of that. I'll get the big and it kind of mess us up.
Yeah, that's I guess it's a benefit to be at the forefront of one of those conversations and arguments, but I'm not really one engaged in that particular debate. That's more of Neb pushing the Part Ankh house with his truth and information, who found some adversity from members of the Amaral Squad, who was Asar and Ujahu. And so they could keep on, if they want to keep hashing that out, they can or they cannot. I respect Neb. I mess with Neb is a magi archer, and I've been dealing with him for the longest, you know what I'm saying? And so...
Well, I asked you because you seem like you a fair guy, and you wouldn't have any bias in telling them it's right and wrong. But I feel if you don't want to...
Yeah, no, I mean, if I had to write that down on a piece of homework, I would go with it being about the land because of what I know about Kemet. It's like if I had homework to turn in to the Supreme Master Teacher, and I was like, if they was like, you need to answer this question right, as you ain't gonna get I would go with the land. I would, because of what I know about the language. But that's not saying that when in the instances when people show it with people behind it, at that point they was talking about the people. The use of the term Kemetu is saying the people of the black land, but some say it's saying black people. And I don't want to say it don't. It's just like, you know, again, the only time I would be forced to get into that debate is if I, in some weird scenario I have to think of. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let me before I hang up, let me just say one more thing about polite, right? And it's not gonna be nothing.
Say what you want to say.
But if you remember when polite first Sinetta, he sent his wife over there with the book, right?
When he first went on there?
Before he even got on, even before he even met Sinetta, he didn't even know Sinetta from a can of worms. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
He didn't even know Sinetta. He sent Aminette over there with the book that he wrote about Sinetta, right? I look at that as like he pimps Sinetta.
He wrote a book
crazy,
about Sinetta?
He said Aminette, that beautiful sister. He said, I wonder what that day. Sinetta needs to tell us. But yo, he sent Aminette across the street with the book, and I could only imagine what she was looking like that day, right? So Netta was like, you know, I bet he was enamored, like, damn, who is this? You know what I'm saying? And that's how Polite got in the fucking circle. He sent his queen.
Oh, yeah.
Like the history of this shit.
I remember his first time. On the block. But he was busting cats up. But he was an old school Nubian, so he had some Nubian teachers.
See, they all said he started, bro. I swear. About 2 or 3 years later, Umar showed up. About 5 years after that, Polite showed up. But before that, Natural Tahuti showed up.
So you saying Umar showed up before Polite?
Yeah, he showed up about 2 or 3 years before. He showed up about 2 or 3 years before Polite. Help you do this research, bro, because I'm on this shit. I'm telling you, I've been paying attention.
Yeah, let's talk about it and write down some dates and stuff and come up with some work on that. That'd be dope.
The video, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know when dude showed up on, well, because I'm from Fort Worth, we got a bookstore called Doc's Bookshop. They was bringing a lot of those cats out when they first showed up. When we first, you know, I remember when I got into it with the brothers, because to be honest, I started Long Star RBG, but to the brothers, that shit that I didn't like, so I disassociated, right? He was all going up to Doc's Bookshop, which is Donna and Danya's. That's their bookstore, and they were bringing guys in like Seti, Umar, you know, etc. When he came and when we went to the lecture, that was the first. And he told us that he was Frederick Douglass' descendant or something. I said that's bullshit. He was lying. But you know, you got other brothers. You got the conscious community, man. He a good brother. Don't say nothing. See what I'm saying? That's one of our fucking downfalls. How we gonna be the conscious community and we can't fucking smell a snake?
Oh no.
Call out, you know, ostracized. If once they get that popularity, I want to hear what the small person is saying. That's a problem. The conscious community got to be able. We supposed to be the smartest community from what I be able to. We wouldn't do the things that the preachers and the pastors and stuff is doing.
Right.
Stuff like they stealing money. All of us look bad, bro. I don't even promote my brand no more because I'm trying to figure this shit out. And, like you got Polite. I mean, not Polite, but Young Pharaoh. He was one of the only people that was popular that actually bought something and supported. But when I see him in my apparel and the stuff that he's doing now, it's like an embarrassment. It's like, you know what I'm saying? For my brand or what we do.
He make your brand look like it's associated with the pseudo shit he's spitting, huh?
You know what I'm saying? So people like, man, I ain't fucking with it.
I ain't wearing that.
No, I ain't got nothing to do with what he said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, work. All in this shit together, bro. So we got a whole people that like, for a fact, that stole $750,000. The count, see, people that ain't been paying attention, that wasn't back when he first came out, they don't know that $750,000 came amiss from PayPal or something. When people start asking what happened to the money, he will block you or delete you immediately.
I know. And then what's up with this new school, bro? Like, that's just crazy. Is there a worse place to put a school? No disrespect to anybody who lived there.
What he should have did is he should have got qualified teachers and did that shit online where he could teach the whole fucking country.
I
It's way
know.
more money. Who can get to Delaware, bro?
That's what I'm saying. I'm from Oakland, B. Like, come on, dude. What you saying is gonna be for a small, limited amount of people in one little ghetto, basically.
Con gang. We should have been able to say, hey, man, we need to do it online. The pandemic showed us the way. Did all of our schooling online. That's why when they opened up these schools back then, we could have said, nah, we're going to teach our kids what we want to know. We could have got the best mathematicians, the best historians, the best of all that we got, and put that shit online. You could have charged $1 a class. If all the whole country of black people, man, you would make way more money than having a fucking physical school. Smart.
I hear you.
Crazy, bro. But I ain't got that much time to be here, so I want to get this shit straight before I get up out of here.
I heard the hell out of that. At least make sure our contributions push our children forward. We can't have them still puzzled trying to figure out what we was trying to figure out because we wasted hella years messing with pseudos and shit. You know what I'm saying? 10 years messing with pseudos ain't making no progress. That's crazy.
I ain't gonna hold up the show, man. I appreciate everything you doing. I followed, subscribe, and did everything, and I suggest you do the same, man. And you keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Word up, man. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you. Word up. Peace. Yo, the call-in number is 919-727-4633. Let's turn up that beat we made this morning real quick and rock that out until some callers call in, you know what I'm saying? I just woke up vibing to this and it came out kind of clapping though. Yeah. See, this is going to be the most versatile show you ever seen. Because can't nobody make a knocker like that that's in the community just with that much knowledge. That's clap. Do some other stuff, you feel me? Yeah. 919-727-4633. There we go. Let me get the beat there.
To accept, press 1.
Yo.
Hey, Mad Job, what up?
Peace. Let me turn this music down. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? I got a question. I got a couple questions for you.
All right, let's get it in.
I just recently, figured out who you was on the side of the TV. I seen the video with you and Unc, and y'all was talking. Y'all pretty much was talking about the Bible and just random stuff. And somebody called in. Y'all pretty much shitted on the apostle about what he was talking about, as y'all should anyway. But I wanted to, one time you said you think the world, like we live in like a simulated world.
Oh, yeah, I definitely said that.
Yeah, I never heard, I heard people say that shit. I seen, like the movie, like the Truman Show, you know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to know, like, what you think about that? Like put that together for me.
Okay, I will, definitely. I'm glad you asked about that. Let's start by saying it's a theory that anybody who want to look into can find on the internet. It's not like nothing that I've just like creationism or any other theories that explain our existence. It's not nothing I made up. It's just something that other people have been pushing forward and proposing. But after getting into it and starting to listen to what the proponents of this theory were saying, I started to believe that it may be some truth to that. And a lot of the points explained things in life that creationism and other theories didn't explain for me. And so a lot of the times in the creationists have to, when they get to a point where they can't answer the story, they just say God did it. But in simulation theory, once we get down to those certain points, we start to get different answers that go back to this being a false reality that was generated by possibly even a computer. Even if we get down basic, or I'm gonna go in on this, and in my attempts to go in on it, I'm gonna just ask some rudimentary questions for us to get to start to see how this could be a possibility. One of the first things I'll ask is, If a man was born without his five senses, if he could not see, if he could not smell, touch, taste, or hear, how could that person define reality? So that's not really going to be a rhetorical question. Let's ask each other that and try to answer it real quick. If a person was born without sight, no sense of hearing, no sense of smelling, no sense of touch, and whichever sense I left out, I can't remember right now. I left one out. But how would that person define reality?
So that's a damn good question. I would just, God damn, I don't know. You know, it's like this man, he would just know that he's here.
How would he know that,
like,
though?
Like, he know, like, even if you don't have all those senses, right, you still got to have some type of conscience. You know what I'm saying? And for him to grow up to become a man, he already passed the baby stage, the kid stage. So, of course, you know he got to eat and drink. You know what I'm saying? He even survived. And I would be thinking, like, you know, of course you got to have somebody to help him through his whole life, through all this stuff.
So that's not to cut you off, but that's something that scientists could just get around. They could just hook this bean up to an IV that nourishes it, because all of your things that keep you alive are involuntary. You just got to give it sustenance, but your heart and your breathing is involuntary. So that will be happening for that being anyway. And if the scientists supposedly hooked him up to something to where, I don't want to go too far on this, but I wanted to make a point before we start going.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, if he was hooked up to something where he was sustained, like with the IV, and then it was serving him nutrients, then that body would grow and it would never die. But the consciousness inside of it would have never experienced language. It would have never experienced the feeling of touch, the sense of smell, eyesight, or hearing. And so if you never ever experience those things at all, how would you define your reality? It seemed like it would be a silent blackness that person would be experiencing, but I could be wrong. And that's the question I'm asking before we get into asking ourselves why we need senses to experience reality in the first place. If reality was actually real, why we need senses to perceive it? But let's just, but I don't want to go too far on that. But we talking about the construct of the nature of the world coming from a different aspect. That's why I'm glad I'm on my own show, because I like talking about stuff like this. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah, how would the world, why do we need senses to perceive reality? Now, I'm just trying to figure that out.
The senses, I mean, this is my answer, you know what I mean? I ain't really no scientist, no crazy shit like that, but I just think our senses to us is reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you live, I don't know, like let's say you live in like a third world country.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you grew up poor. I ain't talking about poor in America. I'm talking about poor in like Afghanistan or Pakistan. You ain't never had a pair of shoes on your feet. You know what I'm saying? All you smell is death. All you see is destruction. You know what I mean? All you hear is screams and people getting killed. You know what I mean? So to you, that's reality. But then you got somebody over here in America, let's pretend they was born rich. You know what I mean? They never really had to struggle for nothing. Everything they wanted was given to them. So we would call that spoiled, but to them, that's their reality. And I think the senses, I think your senses is reality to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the person that's rich, all they see is good people. Well, not good people, but people with money. All they taste is the finest foods. All they hear is shit, whatever they want to hear. They don't hear gunshots at night or people yelling and screaming, or they don't see pain. You know what I mean? All they know is good. Well, to us, it be good. So I think your five senses to you is reality.
I think what you just described were conditions within reality. Well, let's say that person who's living in poverty got placed in a situation to look through a restaurant window at the person who's living an abundant life eating a steak. They both see a steak on the table in that reality. You see what I mean? And so whether we are talking about the conditions of reality that create one's world, or so to speak, they still sensed or still observed the same object. And so I seen somebody said in the chat, we have senses to navigate our environment. I understand why we have senses, but the question was asked, why do we need senses for that? For instance, what I'm saying is...
so you're saying without them, just... Okay, so... Well, how would it be if we didn't? Like, what do you think it would be if we didn't have senses?
Well, I'm saying if we got sensors, and I already know since we got sensors, it don't stop at 5. Why would it stop at 5? We only just tapped into those certain senses. So what if you tapped into the 6th one? Then your reality changes right there. You see what I mean? And so
that pineal gland.
Exactly. And so then that means a person who is less one sense, his reality has changed a little bit too, right? And so then if we go all the way down to lessening, taking all the senses away, the question is, I mean, that person exists, but how will they, again, the question was asked, how would they divine existence? Now, we don't have to answer that now. I only wanted to say that to say a few things. In simulation theory, we start with a few questions, few simple questions, before we start going down the road like, we live in a simulator. One of the simple questions go like this. At the doubling rate of technology, you know how fast technology advances nowadays, how things are starting to look realer and realer. You play 2K, NBA 2K now, it damn near look like you watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The question is, we only in 2021. So the question is, what do we think the progression of visual simulations will be? Do we think the progression of visual simulations will eventually reach a point to where it's indistinguishable from reality, or what we perceive as reality already? Do we think?
I thought about that.
So I think the answer is obviously yes, because we can't put a limit on how long it'll take for technology to get there, but we know that in 3021, in 1,000 years from now, imagine what a video game gonna look like. You see what I'm saying? If the reality still progresses along these lines. So if scientific,
a video game.
Exactly. That's what we're leading towards. So scientifically, to answer, if we had to answer that question scientifically, I think that most of us would say that technology will advance to the point where visual simulations are indistinguishable from reality. I already could put on my headset that's sitting right here and put on some games that I could just, if I let myself go, then everything I see is real. But I gotta kind of be letting myself go. They got somewhere you don't have to do all that. It looks so real, you really can't tell the difference. So that's the first question. Then the second question will be, will we ever get enough computing power to actually run a type of a similar? Because we running creationism simulations right now. They run all these simulations in computer to see how life started. Well, do we think that we'll get enough computing power to run a simulation that could simulate billions of different lives doing different things? That's another question. Eventually, we'll get there too, because we're going along the lines of quantum computing. So then we're saying that if the final question would be, if we think that technology would eventually get to the point where these simulations are indistinguishable from reality, and secondly, we think that we might get enough computing power to use some. The question will be, do we think that a future generation or a future civilization will one day run an ancestral simulation or run any type, just like we looking through DNA and stuff. You feel me? Do we think that one day they will run some simulation to generate, you know what I'm saying, to simulate lives or what have you in order to see anything for anything? Do we think that that would happen or not, or they would make it illegal or not? Well, we don't have to answer these questions, but we know some scientists will eventually, and therein lies the possibility that what you could be saying could not necessarily be true. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just at the it's just at the start of it. Because if a future generation was running an ancestral simulation to see how they got to such a destructive point or whatever, since you can't go back in time or whatever, they probably could. But again, one would say that it would serve to say, or it would serve to say there's a possibility that they would run a simulation and we could be in it right now. That's just what the theory is in a nutshell. But it's deeper, and it could go a lot deeper than that. But in a nutshell, that's what it is. And so I started to be. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, don't you think, like at some point, I get what you're saying. I like that whole idea, but I would think at some point the simulation and real life will clash. You know what I'm saying? And like you said a little bit before, you won't really be able to tell the difference between the two if it does get to that point. Like how you know, like let's say you met somebody at work or something like that, or you just met somebody out on the street. Like what if this person not even real? Like somebody's controlling this person and you think you live in your real life. You know what I'm saying? Like
that is
one. Come to a point where
that's an instance. That's more like simulated characters. But we talking about what you ain't looking at in the world is not there. It's not there because there's no reason for the computer to generate that data in order for like right now you have something behind you, right? But it's not even going. Right, it's not really behind you right now. It's only gonna be behind you when you turn around. You see what I mean? That type of, because it want to save computer data type shit. You feel what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, but like in certain instances, we start to get. I mean, if you reach back, then the feeling aspect sense is going to kick in, and you'll be able to touch it. But it'll be no reason for the computer to actually generate an image of it until you're looking at it.
Until you turn around,
But then when we start going in on science, that stuff start matching up perfectly. It's the quantum effect. When we was talking about the observer effect and all that, it started making perfect sense. Because atoms don't do nothing but take their position when you look at them. When you're not looking at them, they all over the universe. And I'm talking not atoms, but the particles that make up the atoms, okay? And so I know people want to be real specific when we're talking about stuff like that. This is just quantum mechanics. Basically, the mechanics of things on the quantum just means super, super small. And mechanics of how super, super small things work, like smaller than an atom, is crazy. They be going back and forth in time and doing all kind of other crazy stuff. And so it only, though that type of behavior is easily explainable in simulation theory. You know what I'm saying? But it's not easily explainable. Even the Big Bang, that's just somebody turning on a computer. You feel me? Because you can't get, the only time you get something from nothing in this reality is when you turn on a computer. I'm sorry.
I never really understood that theory, and I'm not a religious person at all. You know, I don't really believe in the whole God concept and stuff like that, but the whole Big Bang theory and how the Earth started and, you know, how we got here, I kind of don't understand that concept at all. Like, sometimes I think the Earth, the universe, stars, and the sun and all that was always here. I don't understand how at one point it was nothing and then now it's this.
Well, I don't know how you could get something from nothing. No one can explain that ever. Like, you know, how you get something from nothing.
It can't go back that far. It can't go back that far, and I don't think they'll never figure it out. But that kind of brings me to my next question, though. What you think happens after you die?
That's a good
Nobody
question.
really know.
That's a good question. I definitely don't think I don't have Christian death theology. I don't think when I die I'm dying. You know, I mean, I don't. But no, that's over. That's just go. But I don't. I mean, I learned a lot from the ancient Egyptians about death, of new ways to look at it. I also learned about a lot from Africans, just traditional African spirituality about death, not to look at it in the when I say the Christian way, I mean like hold on so dearly to this life, and if you do something so that you can get a reward after you die, like the pie in the sky, that don't really work for me. And then I really don't approach it from that perspective because of what I believe to be an immoral tradition of repentance. Like, you shouldn't be able to do bad your whole life and right before you croak say, I repent, and be able to be in heaven.
No, ain't no such thing.
You could do that in the Bible, though. You feel me? I mean, in the tradition, no matter when you repent, if you repent, you get to go into the glory, so to speak. And that's silly.
That don't make sense.
That means Hitler could have repented at the last minute right before he croaked and been let into heaven.
Yeah, Hitler in heaven drinking Kool-Aid.
Exactly. Like, I repented.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And so that's cold because that leads people to live a life of sin and think that, oh, well, I could just repent. You know, and so, again, when we get back to what happens, I can't answer that question, but I just ain't scared of what happened no more. It might be a wonderful experience of what happened. You definitely, the work, let's just keep it a buck about it, just man to man. The worst part about death to the majority of men is the fear that it's going to hurt. At least to me.
I don't even think it's that. For me, I think the worst part is you just don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if it, you know, some people die peacefully. Some people die in their sleep.
Well,
I mean, you know what I mean? There might not be no pain involved.
I hear you. I'm glad you said that. But if you're saying if it's just don't know, that's definitely not a fear for me. The fear of the unknown is not a fear for me. More or less is the fear of the pain of dying. Like if you get shot, if you drowned, you know, if you fall and hit the ground. That be the scary part. Everything else is like, it is what it is. You're not going to remember it. You're not going to regret it. You feel me? You're going to be supposedly you're going to be in a state of peace if that's what happens. Now, if you go into some of these theologies and if what they say is true, wouldn't you hate to die and just be in like a court system right then? Like, so, you like, oh, you next.
When you get judged?
Yeah, all that old silly shit. I'm like, who want to go? I don't even want to go to court on earth. You feel me? So now I'm dead and I'm waiting in a line to go through something that's like court. That's corny. I don't want that. I'm going to go left, bro. I'm not standing in the court line. I'm just saying. Even though I know everything, I'll be judged in all good graces by all my ancestors and predecessors. I'm not saying anything like that. I was more or less talking about the concept of the pearly gates and all these things that they put, images they put into our head to shape the way we live our lives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know.
I even thought about, I wonder if we still got, like, do we still have consciousness after death? Like, do you know that you know, when you die, do you know that you're dead? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about this stuff a lot.
Well,
I just be wanting to hear people's, you know, ideas on it, what they think.
Well, I'll be telling myself this, the energy and like when you talking to yourself, when you close your eyes, you can't touch that, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's intangible. And I don't think that'll be the worst. Like you know your body fading out when you dying, and that's probably something you like, okay, it's over. But if if your voice to your own self is fading out, you know what I mean? That's really crazy. I think that voice will be allowed to float freely through the cosmos or whatever. It just ain't gonna have a body no more. It might try to find another one. It might try to reincarnate just to come back into the flesh in another person. but this consciousness that I'm capturing, and the essence of me ain't physical. You know what I'm saying? I even tried to separate it at certain times in order to be able to manage pain better. Because one thing I realized is, damn, the voice that's talking to me, telling me that I'm in pain, actually don't feel the pain. It's hard to separate yourself like that. Exactly. You be in your head, the voice in your head telling you that your finger hurt, don't feel the finger hurting. You feel it hurting. And that'd be crazy to me. I mean, it's hard to I hope people could get where I'm going with that. And the ability to try to separate those two, for me, I don't think that my inner conscious that guides my thoughts is going nowhere when my physical goes somewhere. It's just going to go kick it. I mean, if I'm still in control like this, that'd be hella fun. But you know, nobody got those answers.
That is true. That is true, man. I'm just on this truck. Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you perfect.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I thought you couldn't hear me no more. But yeah, man, I appreciate those answers, man. It was good talking to you.
Word up. Thanks for calling in and tap in anytime. I'm just up chilling. You know what I'm saying? Tap in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, one more thing. I see you play video games and stuff, right?
I got the Oculus headset. I don't got no other video game. I don't got no gaming units. Like, I ain't got no PlayStation or nothing. But I got the Oculus headset, and really, just flight simulator type of. I don't want to say grown-up games and shit. War game. I play Onward and Oculus, but the main thing, just so you can know, we started a whole VR world, which is Hyro VR. And so it required me to get into that, and then I got me a few little flight simulator games and stuff. But I used to game with.
I got an idea.
What's your idea?
Say that again.
What's your idea?
I was gonna say I got an idea for a video game, and I really want to put it out there, but I don't want nobody to steal my shit. I don't know how to go about it.
Don't put it out there then. You got to write it down, put it in a tangible form, and that's going to be your first steps to bringing it into fruition. Don't even trip. Write it down for yourself, and then...
Yeah, I want to patent it and all that, but I don't know how to go about it.
First, just write down get the idea out your head and put it on a piece of paper, because that's going to make something happen like magic. Like, if you put it on a piece of paper, at least just the ideas that you got and jot them on the paper. Probably better to put them in a Word document or something. And then if you want to start looking at what you wrote down, ask yourself what steps you got to take to make some of that shit become real. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you could, but life is just life. So you could say, okay, I want this to be done in 10 years or 5 years. But if you don't start manifesting it or actualizing it, it's just going to stay in your head and years going to be passing. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
You'll write that shit down and be like, all I need to do is talk to one person and that part, and or whatever. But what was you saying? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, I was just saying I got you. Once I write it down, then I can start moving on from there. I get it.
Word up.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, all right, man. Thanks. Appreciate that. I'll definitely be calling back.
Well, yo, word up. Thanks for tapping in. I'm going to be right here. It's good.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Word up. Yeah, the call-in. Let me see what the call-in number is. 919-727-4633. Let's rock to this little beat we made this morning for a minute. Cool, but it got this little clap in it that come in clapping like. Oh, that's funky. That gotta be knocking in your phone right now. I hope it ain't too loud if you got on headphones. Come on, man. Who's sure gonna play some hot ass beats in the middle of the night? All right, let's think about it now. I mean, you know, I still wish the best for SETI. I wish the best for Pharaoh. I wish justice for Polite. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Sometimes I done met hella pseudos in my real life that just didn't have the right information. They wasn't necessarily bad people to me, but when you start, you know what I'm saying, acting like you somebody and you got bad information and all that, you get your dog claws. You feel me? Hey, thank you, Leroy. Oh, God, he said Godot is a gaming engine for beginners. A gaming engine so I can make video games? I probably would, bro. If you got a line on that, let me know. I was just thinking about some beats for video games the other day. But I'm gonna turn that back down. I was just playing around with that. I mean, I brought Sadie to Oakland, bro. Way back in the day. He ain't never been to Oakland before I brought him. Then him and Young Pharaoh came back, and when I came to the event, they tried to block me at the doors like I was going to start some beef or something. I don't understand people. Like, stop trying to mix the streets up. I've never been that person. Like, I'm at the front door of the event. You got people stopping me and my dudes because y'all scared of us? Please. Because, you know, I was down with the Army Rock Squad, you just faking, acting like we in some gang culture or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when people be doing that. I mean, you can still get slapped up. I'm not talking about nobody in particular. I mean, scholars were slapping each other back in the day, so it don't matter what you're doing. But we trying so hard not to be the typical brother. Feel me? That why would we break that? Why would we go there? If that was the case, then I'll be just going to... I'll just go stand on the corner with the regular brothers. You know what I'm saying? But it's 12:30. I probably want to get on my flight simulator. I'm really just concerned about getting my content up on YouTube so they stop having me. You know, if you only put up certain amount of videos a day or a year, then they got you on a certain level of... Just like Instagram, how many people they gonna let see your post, how many people they send your notifications out to. So I'm just like, you know what, I sit at this computer so much, I'm about to just start streaming everything I'm doing until YouTube step my game up and I can start building up a bigger following. Cause why? Cause that's where it's going. For me at least. I'm an outdoorsman. I love being outdoors. I spend a lot of time outdoors. But I'm preparing for a long winter between COVID and just everything else. I don't need to see nobody no more, man. I'm tired of people wanting to see me. They get me mad. Need to see me? Because I got to travel to come do an interview. Oh, what? Should cut it out. But I'm going to take some last calls. If there are any last callers out there, the number is 919-727-4633. We building about anything. Just chopping it up. Oh, so I was back talking about how I couldn't really knock Young Pharaoh. Let me pull this shit up, man, on YouTube. I couldn't knock Young Pharaoh for saying even though I know he lying. But I'm not lying. I don't know you lying just because you said you got abducted by aliens. How many people, see, you can't be in the conscious community and say you got abducted by aliens. Or you even believe in any of that type of stuff. Like, how that's going to work. You feel me? So let's see something. But I'll tell you what, you ain't never looked at me like I was crazy. And his story don't bring no validation to anything I've seen, nor does my story bring any validation to anything he said. But all these three lights that everybody be seeing, see, let me show you. Let's go to YouTube, man. These right here. Have I considered doing my work from the Rap God WordPress site as YouTube presentations? You know what, Gio? As real video presentations, thank you for saying that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to edit them into, not live presentations, but I'm going to edit them into some full videos. But if you notice, the majority of the content that I talk about comes straight up out of my book. So I'm always presenting out of my book at times. But the way you said it, like, so these lights right here, the way you, let me end this thought first. The way you said it, like putting it into a format where, you know, like my chapters are a video, basically, yeah, that'd be dope. Now these lights right here, these motherfuckers is real. Turn that down.
So 2020 has hit us with a lot of stuff. It's not even July, but you know, from the giant killer hornets that are coming to, you know,
Killer hornets, what happened
there's
with that?
just locusts everywhere and the pandemic. I mean,
What are you talking
what
about?
is coming next
See, when people say locusts, they be on some biblical stuff. Oh my God.
is the real question. Well, we think we have a viral video which was released from Miami, which explains
All right, these right here
a lot. It shows that it might be UFOs.
are real.
No word on what these lights in the sky actually are yet, but a Senate Intelligence Committee, is calling on the Pentagon to release the UFO reports
Let's see if they
that
show
they're
it
sitting
again.
on.
I'm not about to
Those
watch this. I just wanted to
damned
show
people.
that little part and show you other people adding some credence to this theory. But let's go look at the Pentagon one real quick, because this is the best one.
In the language of
Man, check this out. So notice this about that light that I want you to notice, because I noticed this from real life. These lights can move. If these lights can move, and they defy the laws of physics. You've never seen a light move that fast without streaking. Trust me, because I experienced this in my own real life. These lights can do so much shit, and they intelligent, bruh. They're not just light. They're not light. They're intelligent. I know this. Now watch this. And this is the Pentagon dude in like an airplane that I'm about to go fly in my flight simulator in a minute. He know he going about 700 miles an hour, 600 miles an hour, and this thing is just doing all kind of stuff. But they intelligent. We'll talk about it in a minute, though.
the language of the US Department of Defense, these are unidentified aerial phenomena. Videos which add fuel to the belief of some that we are not alone. The first incident was filmed off the California coast in 2004.
So my incident was off the coast of Hawaii in 1998.
Oval shape hovering, and in the words of the Navy pilot who recorded this, not behaving by the normal laws of physics.
What you say? They really don't behave by the normal laws of physics, bro. That thing be crazy. Like it'll hit a 90-degree turn. It could go from outer space to in the ocean to right in front of you, and not even streak light like light streaks.
Oh, that's them, is it? It's not.
But I didn't see this black thing. See, they got better technology than me, so they can see through the light. And for some reason, it's making me think that they might be witnessing a slightly different phenomenon now. But when it's just light is what I'm speaking on.
Well, if there's another thing.
So let me tell you, no matter who you are watching this video, no matter where the hell you at, this is being witnessed by a pilot in the U.S. Pentagon. This ain't no bullshit. This ain't pseudo.
That's them, is it? It's not. Well, if there's another thing. Have a look on the
In 2015, pilots flying off the east coast of America spotted this.
They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Again, its speed and movement apparently astounding experienced aircrew.
I do that on us, dude. Well, if there's another thing, it's rotating.
That's
That
what I'm
same
talking
year-
about. See, that's it. That's what I seen these. It's going into the ocean. Did you see how it go hella fast into the ocean?
That same year, racing across the surface of the ocean, something that it took some skill to capture. All of these videos have been leaked in the past, but the US government now confirms they are genuine. In a statement, the Department of Defense said it was releasing the
so again, those things got nothing to do with nobody saying they had somebody putting spark plugs in the back of their neck. I don't want you to be confusing the two. But I'll tell you right now, that shit real as a record deal. I got them lights. I interacted with them lights. I got to witness them for hella long. And that shit was hella fun. I ain't got no wild, outrageous ass story to tell you. They didn't change me into no superhero. I ain't flicking my tongue at you now and shit. I'm just saying I was in Hawaii in 1998 and I seen the shit that the U.S. government seen. And I had the ability to interact with it for a good amount of time. What I mean by interact with it is my dude, he didn't summons them, but they respond to light. Those light beings, they respond to light. And the light that we shot at it was just so bright enough to get the, whatever it was, his attention. And that thing came from being out on the ocean hella far to right above my face like this, dude. Like, and there was three of us. And we was like, what are we experiencing? So don't just discredit somebody because they saying some weird stuff happened. Pretty sure you might have had some stuff that maybe you don't want to talk about or because people will look at you a certain way. But my brain is like a steel trap. There'll be nobody who can tell me or you that I'm not sane or credible. You feel me? And you'll be able to hear me talk and you'll be able to use your own judgment on whether at least I believe I'm telling the truth or not. You see what I'm saying? All that shit was hella crazy, bro. And hella real. So I don't, like I said, I ain't got no fanciful ass story. I just simply know I seen them come from outer space, go into the ocean, come out the ocean, dance on top of the water doing all kind of shit for like 10, 15 minutes. My partner flashed the camera because he thought nobody was going to believe us. We sitting on an all-dark beach. When he flashed the camera at the lights turned from 3 lights and went back into 1 light. And zoomed up on us hella quick. That shit was incredible. Then it zoomed up on us and started floating just right above the car hood. It bounced like 3 times like it was assessing us. Doop, doof, doof. And went shoo, way back out to where it was doing. And then so after it did that, we felt kind of like accepted. Because first we was trying to run, we was trying to get up out of there. Basically, my partner tried to start the car, and I grabbed his hand because we seen this shit zooming up, and by the time he tried to start the car, the shit was bouncing over him. So I was like, don't start the motherfucking car now, motherfucker, because that's going to be perceived like an extra aggression or whatever. And so we just sat there, and it just bounced over the car like this and zoomed back out to the ocean and start back. And it separated and turned back into 3 lights again and started doing what it was doing again. Extracted whatever it needed to extract or whatever. And it took it hella long to do it, but it knew we was witnessing it, but it wasn't tripping. It extracted whatever it needed to extract, came back into one light, and shot all the way up to the sky. And so before, this is crazy, before it burst out of our atmosphere, when it broke through, like whatever it got to break through to get out of our atmosphere, that shit lit up the whole entire sky. Like, this is why I don't be understanding this phenomenon. Besides everything else I said, it lit up the whole entire sky. And so we just had confirmation that everybody on the island seen that. We was like, oh, cool. We know they seen that. And we knew we'd see it on the news the next morning. And we was talking like we going to be able to say we seen exactly what it was. Man, that shit wasn't on the news. Nobody. We was with 7 other people. We went back and got where our camp, told them what they seen. They was telling us we was crazy. We was like, bro, nobody didn't just see the whole fucking island just light up. People was like, what you talking about? What you talking about? Shit was never on the news, nothing. 3 of us witnessed that shit. The other 2 people I was with don't even like talking about it. Like, they don't even talk about it to this day. And I don't even care. It's like, I don't talk about it either. But I'm talking about it now because somebody has some fanciful ass story that I don't believe his story because of mine's, but I just can't discredit people when they saying weird shit. You feel me? Yeah. Do I think Jesus Christ walked the earth? I don't believe everything in the Bible. Definitely not. I don't believe everything in the Bible. If you're talking about that person they talking about in the Bible, I don't even think that was written for us to believe it that way. A person named Jesus probably was titled the Christ and could have walked the earth. But if you're talking about that person from the books, was it who doing all this stuff? I don't believe it. I just gotta ask you, people think you tripping. Like, yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying, but exactly. The whole difference is,
yeah, and I'm a work, I ain't going.
The whole difference is, I'm credible. I mean, hey, do I sound like a weirdo? Am I flicking out my tongue and shit? I'm just simply talking about an experience that I experienced with 2 other witnesses that I maintained this story since 1998. Anybody can look into my history and see if I told the story the exact same time. Every time I told it. It's not fanciful to me. They didn't give me no light transmission. They didn't make me super smart. None of that happened. I just seen some shit I couldn't explain. But I definitely would not hold my tongue in saying what I've seen. It's not a man on this earth that could take my truth and make me shun my truth. Like, you feel me? Just because they ain't experienced it. I feel like I'm more blessed than that person. And they might not believe that I'm just that, just that blessed in order to be able to see that shit. Sitting on the beach in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? As a youngster. 20 years ago, 1998. Hella money. Just sitting there on the beach, seeing some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that shit, like I said, I don't got nothing fancy to say about that shit. But I do know that when they show you the stuff like they showing you, I'll be like, that shit real as hell. So real you would never even believe it. But somebody will see one day. Other than that, let me turn up this beat for a minute. I was trying to make the beat sound the way it sounds, though. Like, if you go back and watch the video from this morning when we was making this beat, I was saying I was going to make it sound the way it sounds. That sound like the aliens right there, huh? Somebody's scared right now. That ain't like no young pseudo story talking about now he could project and all that shit. Ain't nothing fancy happened in my story. You notice that? Ain't nothing special happened. I just seen some shit that was special. That was unbelievable. I didn't do nothing unbelievable. I ain't saying I was on no spaceships, bruh. Golly, we was in a rental-car sitting on a beach. We took Highway 1 to 93. I pull all this shit up. Dude, how I know this? Well, I put in enough details to know the freeways in Hawaii in order to, let me see. Hawaii Highway 1. I think it's Oahu. Oahu Highway 1. H1. Golly. And I'm gonna show you. Now we can just look at this and be like, damn, I'll show you exactly where we see that shit at. Because I wrote a rap so I can remember the way to get back to this location for the rest of my life. And in the rap, I said we took Highway 1 to 93, freestyle and rode straight to the end of the island. Now look, motherfucker. What does this say? Highway 1 to 93. How do I just know that off my head? Am I just that much of a fucking... Like, look, Highway 1, we took Highway 1 to 93, freestyling and rode straight to the end of the island. So at the end of this road, 93, is going to be a dirt road that leads to a beach. I'm about to show you, see? See, go the end of it. They go Maku Beach. So this I think we rode all the way to the end of the island because the road actually turned to a dirt road. So I'm about to prove it with Google Maps. Golly, I'll show you where I seen this shit. Come on, bruh. How can I do this? You think I'm lying? I'm going to go to the end of the island, and it's going to be a beach at the end. We were sitting there, and this is where all this shit happened. And then we even going to drive by this little government site that I'm going to see. Let me whip out of this view, because I think we got to go too far. It might have been one of these beaches, but it turned into a dirt road, and we drove down the dirt road. So let me see what happened if I come to the end of this road. See, that's where we drove down. Now, because I said we went down the old dirt road, seen some government shit, some straight loving the shit. We wilding, rode to the end of the island. Man, I wrote this all into a rap so that I can remember it. And so now I just showed you where it was. We rode down Highway 1 to 93. We were sitting on it. If this was the beach, let me see. Because I'm going to show you exactly how we were sitting and everything. This is where we was at in this type of area, but where the beach go? We had drove onto the beach, and it was easy to drive onto the beach. But we was looking out this way. Let me see. See, young Pharaoh couldn't tell you no facts like that on his story. We was looking out. I wish I could click on the beach. I don't know if it was this beach, but I don't see no other beaches. But what I do know is that we had to drive down some dirt to get to the part of the beach that we was at. So listen, they might have paved this road by now. Yeah, we was like kind of like this. And we was parked, on the beach, just looking out there chilling, smoking, and what have you. And then we see this shit. Oh, you was smoking? That was it? Man, I'm smoking right now. Shit. Ain't a day, ain't a presentation. It ain't a knowledge I dropped where I wasn't blowing. So get that clear. Right about here somewhere. All right, so we did go down Highway 1 to 93, right? Because there go 93. And here come Highway 1. So if you want, I wanted to remember this because I plan on taking my children back there to that site and telling that beautiful ass story. But another thing I noticed that we had to have been further on the beach because it was trees behind us when I think about it. Because there was something that happened in the trees behind us too. So we had to have been about in this area. Because we should see trees, and I don't see trees. It was more trees, like a whole little foresty area. Anyway. Oh, man, people don't even be known. Let me get up out of this, man. And it's 12. I'm about to go fly my flight simulator, man. Let me say. I want to say peace to the people for tapping in. I'm going to be going live at various, just spontaneously. I might be right back live in 2 more hours. Because I'm going to be up all night. So why even stop? Let me just start showing what I'm about to be doing. About to do some studying, probably some hip-hop. I want to play my flight simulator, though. We're getting pretty raw with that. So now, my pseudo now, let me know. Because I seen something that you ain't seen in my pseudo. You know that I ain't telling no fake shit like that. I ain't, like I said, it didn't make me magic. Didn't do shit. I was waiting for something to do something, nothing ever happened. I just was the same old dude. So, hey. But now all of these people could say it, and the dudes in the army could show it. You feel me? Well, if I say I seen it, I'm just out of pocket. It's cool. Well, we're gonna open that call-in number again. Somebody call in and tell me what they seen. 919-727-4633. 919. Matter of fact, y'all gonna make me want to roll up something. 919-727-4633. 919-727-4633. I was trying to find the Umar when Umar seen a little crack rock on the ground, bro, and he started paying attention to it. I never seen nobody do that. Lennon Honor showed this video, and I was like, oh, nah, this look real. This fool, Umar, he was doing a video at his school, and a little rock was on the ground, and he started paying hell attention to it, put up one finger to the camera, and went and checked to see what that rock was on the ground. And when I seen him do that, I was like, either he didn't want something that looked like crack to be on his property, or he was really looking at that shit. Yeah, but I don't think that Lennon Honor dude, I don't respect him more than, like, I mean, anybody who's just going at somebody, you make your whole YouTube video after going at somebody. I think this is the video.
You're still looking for new traffic sources. It's time to try Taboola Native Ads.
An air conditioning unit for the Honorable Marcus Garvey Elementary School on October the 31st or the 30th.
Is this hating what I'm doing?
I'm finishing Garvey's work, Douglas's work.
Come on, man. I think this is the new Dolphin hairstyle. I don't care what you rocking at your house right now. I'm starting to see some of my homies with this look and they on drugs, bro. So this is just my life.
This is heaven on earth, brothers.
This is heaven on
work. This is heaven on earth, brothers. There needs to be checks and balances all around. There will be Jada, but you don't have to worry about that.
I want to find when he looking.
What I want y'all to worry about is what I need you to worry about.
Really,
Video tape and special event for the public.
Yeah, this is the video. It's the video when he got on this red shirt and these pants, bro.
There will be more events. I will say that. Okay. We're almost done with the renovation of the gym, which is definitely large enough for us to hold some function. So once the HVAC unit is completed on the gym, we will start having events on campus this fall. I am very much looking forward to that. And then if all goes well with the school, we might just be having our grand opening of the Marcus Garvey Elementary School during Black History Month. That's what we're pushing for. Yeah, we want to have a week-long celebration, bring out some of our scholars and master teachers. We got 10 classes.
I ain't mad at the brother, man, whatever. I mean, I am mad at him, but I don't just want to be on that bandwagon. I was just looking for this video, bro. What's the shout out to Chief X? This boy hella funny. Everybody be funny trying to get their views. It be hella funny. I be laughing. Like, damn, you just crazy, boy. Let me see. All right, well, I should have downloaded that video when he posted it. This the dude, Lennon Honor. He's just obsessed with Umar, dude. Golly. I mean, some of you dudes make yourself look crazy. Look, Lennon Honor, 50 plus videos on Umar Johnson. Enough already. God, people going hard on him now. Lennon Honor's pathetic response to the block party. So now the YouTube streets is crazy. But I ain't tripping though. I can't find the video. I want my money back, Umar. I thought the school would be something that I definitely don't want my money back. I'm just playing. But you know, I just had a different idea of what you was talking about. I could have built the school way quicker. Oh, it's 29 people watching. Shout out to the party people. Let me go look at the people. Let's see what y'all saying. Put it up on the screen. No, I mean, it is what it is. And then you see what's going on Moore's World TV. I watched the Harker Bay too, but now it's just like, we gotta be not acting like because we on YouTube, we all of a sudden it's like investigative journalists and shit. Everybody's just talking on their page. I need to be the most honest about saying, yo, although I be right about a gang of shit, I'm just another brother talking on my page too, bruh. Like, let's keep it in the perspective, dog. We don't have to argue each other to the ground about everything. We don't have to, but being right is overrated. Everybody tell yourself being right is overrated. I be right all the goddamn time. It don't even pay to be right. Show me where it pay to be right. I mean, you just supposed to do the job they want you to do, or provide a service and do it correctly and properly. But I want to know where they giving out checks for you just being right about all this shit you arguing about. They not handing out no checks for that. That's why motherfuckers be right, argue all day on YouTube, and then get up and gotta go do some other shit to eat. So don't even. Fuck being right all the time. Shit, let somebody else be right too. Why you gotta be the only person that gotta be right? Like, what type of monopoly you want on being right? Let that go. I mean, a lot of time I be talking to myself. This is all of the conversation I've been had with myself. I'm ending this at 1 o'clock, by the way. I'm on the West Coast, so this is what it is. All the conversation that you have. Why not let nobody else be right? Shit, you know. So I had to, again, I be teaching myself that type of shit. Dr. Ingy just is crazy. Let's keep on going in on the YouTube pages. We can do our YouTube page commentary right now. So Inky, I don't want to just start going in on you. But on my YouTube page commentary, bro, you be looking kind of crazy. But I ain't got we ain't never bumped no heads. We chilled out in Atlanta and shit. It is what it is. But I be just like, you just be talking on the internet for hella long. I'll wake up and Inky still be live. Shout out to him though, because I want to be able to do it like him. I'm not saying that. I'm trying to sit in this chair for as long as my back get to hurt. You feel? I need to get up and stretch. How you doing 6-hour live streams? Ain't even stretching. But yeah, this shit been crazy. I got 10 more minutes before I get up out of here. If anybody want to call in and express themselves in the final 10 minutes, it'll be cool. Look, this is what I'll be watching. See, I'm going to go watch this type of shit on my way to sleep, just so y'all know.
Tired of cold calling?
Hold on, man. Forget all these commercials.
Introducing.
I'll be listening to
YouTube
this.
channel, I'm George.
Straight white people pseudo stuff, that's what y'all call it, huh? That's why I need to be a black channel like this.
George Norrie, like, share, and subscribe. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Coast to...
I'm going to fall asleep actually probably listening to this one. It's called Channeling. 8 out of 10 people experience some aspect of it.
CoastAM.com. Become a Coast Insider.
Believe you me, George Norrie be having some of the biggest pseudos in the whole entire world on his show. But he shows how to be a good host. Art Bell, George Norrie, whoever, even some of the other ones, they show how to be good host in letting them people talk to your audience so that your audience could grow. So they got 500,000 subscribers, 428,000.
For ad-free access to thousands of shows you'll really enjoy. Up next, the science of channeling. Helena Wahbe joins us. We're going to talk about why you should trust your intuition and embrace the force that connects us all. Next on Coast to Coast AM.
See? I like topics like that. Why you should embrace the force, and what's the matter with that? Like, none of this is useful for the black man. The black man needs to focus on his struggles all day. I listen to all this shit. Look, they talk about the craziest shit you ever talked about. But now, before we get it over, we're going to finally end this one with the quantum eraser. Golly, let's just end this all with the quantum eraser in the final 10 minutes, all right? All right, the quantum eraser. All right, this is your last piece of knowledge that I'm about to let us deal with tonight. I'm going to skip through this video to right about here. I'll be doing these videos. So we're going to end this night with the quantum eraser. And since I talked about how the particles that make up our body is all over the universe at once, see if you could grab this concept real quick. And I'm going to let this be my last video before I go fly. I'm going to fly like a 3-hour mission, y'all. Sometimes when you play flight simulators, if you want to fly to Japan, you got to really fly to Japan. Like, you could set it on autopilot and come back in 10 hours and then land and shit. Well, it's crazy, though. It's simulated reality. But let's go. We're going to end this night with learning about quantum erasers. Just open up your mind. Don't try to understand nothing. Just let them talk.
We saw in the previous video that a single photon traveling through both slits leaves an interference pattern, which means the photon is a wave. If we looked at which slit the photon goes through, we see a pattern that is consistent with the photon being a particle. We call the second experiment a which-way study. This result is pretty freaky. Back in the 1930s, physicists like Niels Bohr speculated that human consciousness changed the result. We no longer believe that. Any detection of the slit the photon goes through gives the same result, including detection by electronic circuits. Of course, the earlier speculation led to a lot of quantum woo, ranging from the books The Dancing Wu Li Masters and The Tao of Physics, to more recent films like John Hagelin's portion of the movie The Secret, to What the Bleep Do We Know, to much of what Deepak Chopra writes. None of any of these things are in agreement with modern science. Sorry if they resonated with you, but you should discard all of them. But let's make some changes to the single photon hitting two slits experiment. They're going to blow your mind, I promise.
Yeah, they are gonna blow your mind, even if you don't know what he's talking about. So don't trip. You about to get it.
Let's add a crystal to the...
So first of all, this is just them modifying the double slit test, and they're going to get to a point. They're trying to see why atoms act different when we looking at them. They're the observer effect, not atoms, but particles, okay? Why they act like one photon will act different when you're looking at it. And they're trying to figure out why. No matter what you use to look at it, it start acting different. Just like he just said, even with electric objects, if you point a camera at it, it acts different. But if you turn away, it acts different. How we know this is because of the pattern that it's been leaving on this wall right here. You see this double slit? It has a wall behind it. But now he's saying, in order to figure out why it's doing that, we're going to do hella different shit with the photon in order to see what happened.
Experiment, which turns the incoming photon into two photons, each with half the energy of the first one. These two photons are what we call entangled, which means that if you measure one, you know everything about the other one. The fact that one is yellow and one is red isn't real. They're actually the same color, but I use the two colors to clarify what I'm talking about. We then add two detectors called A and B, which measure not the photon hitting the screen, but rather which slit the photon goes through by measuring the cousin photon, which never hits the screen. If A and B are turned off, you see a wave pattern. That kind of makes sense, but if A and B are on, and you look to see which slit the photon went through, you get a particle pattern.
See? They're using devices to try to look at this photon, and it still keep knowing the photon still can tell it's being observed, and it changes its function. It collapses the wave function and acts like a particle whenever it's being observed. So watch this.
Okay, here's the first mind blower. Suppose you make the cables going to A and B very long, so the photon hits the screen before you can measure it.
Now, the interference screen over here. This is the screen that lets us know whether it's a photon or a wave because of the pattern that it leaves on this screen. If it leaves a dot like a ball, it was a particle. If it leaves a wave on the screen, it was a wave. If it leaves an interference pattern on the screen, it was a wave. So what they're doing is letting it hit the screen first and then letting it travel to the device that's measuring it. And guess what this thing do? It goes back in time, bro. It goes back in the past and change what it recorded on the damn screen. You see, that's what they're trying to show you. That's why they move these sensors A and B further away so that the photon can't tell that you observing it until it get to A and B sensors. And once it touched the A and B sensors, it goes back in time. And oh, you think I'm crazy? It goes back and changes what was on the board. Now let me take it back so he can explain that to you.
Suppose you make the cables going to A and B very long, so the photon hits the screen before you can measure its cousin in A and B. If you do this, the result is unchanged. So what does that mean? It means that if you turn A and B on, detecting the cousin photon affects what the photon hitting the screen does in the past.
What did I say? It affects what it does in the past. You see A and B on this screen? When it get to A and B, it had already got to this screen. But since it got to A and B, the imprint it leave on the screen, it's like it knew it was going to get to A and B in the future. This shit is crazy, but let's let him explain it.
It means that if you turn A and B on, detecting the cousin photon affects what the photon hitting the screen does in the past. This experiment seems to completely screw up causality. The particle or wave pattern is created by whether a detector in the future sees which slit the photon goes through. But there's yet another...
You hear that? It's affected by a detector in the future, seeing which slit the photon goes through. Because these detectors are in the future, meaning if they shoot the photon out, it's going to touch this first. It's like you write your name on, it's like they do when they do magic. Like when magicians do magic and they say, I'm going to write my name on this card, and in 10 seconds I'm going to ask you some questions and you're going to say the word that's on the card that I wrote down. That's what these photons are doing. It's craziest shit in the world.
The particle or wave pattern is created by whether a detector in the future sees which slit the photon goes through. But there's yet another step.
The particle or the wave pattern is created by whether a detector in the future sees what pattern it goes through.
And weirdness. What if you can erase your knowledge of which slit the photon goes through? What happens then, and how do you do it? You do it by adding 3 half-silvered mirrors. A half-silvered mirror will reflect half of the photons and half will pass through. You put 2 of them, one in front of the detector A and one in front of detector B. This means that the beams of cousin photons can go into the detectors or get passed along to additional instrumentation. You also add 2 new detectors, C and D. These are farther away from the screen than the A and B guys. You place mirrors in front of the beams of cousin photons leading into a single half-silvered mirror. That means that the photons from A can either be reflected into detector C or pass through the mirror to detector D. Conversely, the cousin photons from B can either be reflected into D or pass through the mirror to detector C. You can see it in the red and yellow paths. C and D can see yellow or red. The bottom line is whether you see a cousin photon from detector C or D, you don't know which slit the photon went through. The addition of C and D completely erases the knowledge that A and B give you. So what happens if you turn off detectors A and B and look at only C and D? Since the detectors don't tell you which slit the photon went through, it once again acts like a wave. But C and D are a little offset, so you see the interference pattern only when you look at C and D separately. Furthermore, if the cables to C and D are long enough, the photons hitting the screen long before the cousin particles hit C and or D. So what I'm saying is the following. If you use A and B in the original experiment, you get a particle pattern. However, if you use C and D in this new version, you get a wave pattern. And detection in A, B, C, and D all happen after the interference or particle pattern is created. This bizarreness implies that in the quantum world, both location and time don't act like they do in our familiar world.
You hear that? In the quantum world is the same world we're living in. They just saying with the really, really, really super small things that make up our bodies, location is fuzzy, and time is equally as fuzzy.
Quantum mechanics can be considered non-local because of the cousin photons, and non-temporal because the detection somehow changes the past.
Non-temporal means they're not bounded by time. See, and they just proved it because it changes what happens in the past. This shit is crazy.
Somehow changes the past. Now, the most important thing to state is that these are experimental results. You can discuss what they mean, but you can't deny that this is how the quantum world works. Because without any chance of being wrong, this is how the quantum world works. So how can we explain the delayed choice and quantum eraser experiment? The simple and sadly unsatisfying answer is we don't know. However, I have given a ton of links to other descriptions of the delayed quantum eraser experiment that you can find in the description. Okay, so what's the answer?
Well, my good brother Geo Boy said, or it happens at a scale so extreme we just don't know how to measure it. Well, that could be true, but like what the phenomenon is a particle changing into a wave. When we don't look at it as a particle, when we look at it as a wave, we trying to figure out what's making it change. So we first think it's our observation that's making it change. So we stopped looking at it with human eyes and started looking at it with cameras and shit. It did the same thing when you looked at the photon with a camera. As soon as you look at it with a camera, it collapses the wave function and acts like a particle. You turn the camera 90 degrees where the camera can't see it, it starts back acting like a wave. And so that is consistent throughout every single test that they are doing. And so that's why my man is saying it probably all happens at a scale so extreme we just don't know how to measure it. But we see it happening in our faces. You see what I mean? The wave is changing to a particle. We have the results of that on that screen. An interference pattern is what a wave leaves, and a regular dot is what a particle leaves. And so, again, when we go back to this point in the experiment, what they was trying to do right here was look at it after it touched the screen. With this point in the experiment, see, they trying to look at it. They didn't look at this until it hit A and B. And A and B are detectors. They're not looking with real eyes. So they are all observation of what's going on by the human. It's absent from this experiment. The interference screen is placed before A and B, and these particles are entangled. So if you know about entangled particles, we know that whatever information is on this particle is the opposite is on this particle. So we just know what's on here. You see what I mean? Because we're looking at the opposite of what we detect in the detector. But
completely screw up causality.
What the guy says is nothing changes, which means it goes back in the past and changes what's on this interference screen. It has to, because it doesn't even know that we detected it. We haven't detected it yet at this point. It leaves us, it's like you pee on the screen and then you get over here and figure out which way the wind blowing. I'm just saying. I don't know, I might be getting goofy at this point, but I hope people understand it. And I just wanted to end this show with some valuable, inquisitive type, knowledgeable teaching, because that's what we like to do. And so understand that quantum eraser, and you can go watch your own videos on it. And then I'm about to end this video because I think I'm past 1 o'clock at this point right now. So thank you. Have a good night. Peace.
Yeah, and I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but his homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Alright, it's getting kinda dirty in these YouTube streets. The Amin Ra squad, God thinking you dudes weak. Islam or Judaism, where you learn what you dudes teach. The West African rappers slapping with that voodoo speech. All that sub-Saharan terror about a cuckoo feet. I'm like Norma, that agricultural farmer that grew you wheat for the storehouses. We feed the Hebrews and lead the people when we defeat the feeble. They wanna know polite rip me off, but Sonetta paid me my money though. That mean he 100. And I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but his homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Nubian with the Jews, I rock the pinky. I think Jesus got to save me, a doctor save me, a Dr. Inky. I cop the copper jewels on blue and red. I'm not the chakra doctor y'all claim woke, but you in bed, you won't pop a chopper, you Grandmaster J. You just talking. Punks turn the other cheek and you will walk away. Y'all gon' have to pardon my Moorish. That's Tahaka Bay. I'm on that black African power on my darkest day. And that's my brother Ankh stomping them other punks. We brought them gators to Italy, you loving the Moors. And now I'm teaching from my shrine like Brother Jabari. Scoping the savannah cause I'm on another safari. Tasha K showed us Frank record. Young Pharaoh just losing his mind and y'all can't help him. I know one thing, you're a fool if you're still out here donating to Umar school. That shit cool. And I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Look, you showing your hidden colors like Tariq Nasheed. A bunch of pseudo information I don't think I need. Probably lying on the text, ask divine as Zion Lack. Just get that microphone ready. With Metal Netta, I'm Stone Jetty, a Ujahu, a Saw Imhotep. Y'all probably timid still on them Bobby Hemmett teachings. I'm in Gozy with the DNA. Cats corny and it's killing me too. You talk that black shit, but you look Arab like Gorilla Hebrew. You need therapy, they telling me just chillin', be cool. I'm a magi archer, you a sad guy talking. And I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh.